Man, that's that good Chuck Town. I'm trying to get that.
True story, man. Right here in the Geechee Island. That's what I call it. This Geechee Island over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, Chucktown, let me tell you, the credit I give to Chucktown is they the only city I ever known to come to your city and have the baddest cookout in somebody else's city. Listen, when they say, "Oh, Charleston having what?"
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how that got started, man. I'll tell you the story behind that. Me and a couple of my friends actually started the Charleston Cookout when we was at Smith. One of our close friends, we all played football together. He had a accident during our last spring game and broke his neck, right? And me and a couple of my homeboys, we were sitting right there on at one of the dorms on the steps, and we was trying to figure out how we could, what could we do to raise money or get money to help with the transport from his parents coming up here back and forth from Charleston to Charlotte. So we was like, you know what, we're gonna throw a cookout and get some donations to send to his mom and his dad to help out with the traveling expenses. We put that cookout together in a day, and that thing just blew up, man. And we did it for about 4 or 5 years. Our last one, someone got killed at the cookout, but these were some people that had a situation. They're from Charlotte that came to our cookout at Hornets Nest Park, and they brought a previous situation that they had going to our event, and they decided to handle that at the event. So we stopped that. That started off like a little college thing, and then after I graduated, some of the old heads that were here from Charleston. Charleston has a very big population in Charlotte. So they started the Low Country Cookout. That basically was the adult version of what we started. In the school, and that went great for years. And the guy who friend of mine, Chu, actually put that thing together, man, died a few years back of cancer, and that was the same time, like right after that, the pandemic started. So it kind of fell off, but man, we had that thing going for almost a decade, man. It was a beautiful thing, bro.
That it was, and that's beautiful to hear that backstory. It's always a history, isn't it? It's always a history. It's always more than most people know. I never knew that history. I just remember getting dressed to go. Hitting East Lamar to get dressed to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, that's the story of how that thing started, man. And I'm sure in the next year or two they're gonna get that thing back going, Absolutely.
I was trying to give it a few more minutes for Jamal and a couple other people to pull up because I know they wanted to talk. And good old Chris Howard, Chucktown's own. But once they get here, I'll just pull them up. What's going on, V? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Boom. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, family?
What's up, family?
James Brown was good, man.
Hey, right here, man. Hey, right here, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nah, I'm
coming
good to hear.
Coming to see you soon. Yeah, coming to see you soon, Bob.
Oh, yeah. Most certainly. Most certainly. You coming up or what?
Yeah, I'm coming up, man. See if I can get you on that pool table or do what I need to do to you. I heard you got
Here we go.
A couple of months ago. I don't forget stuff like that.
Don't forget, me and you gotta settle our differences with that ping pong table.
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Dez. Dez, no, me, him, Quint, Cool Quints. All us, Dez ain't never put no beating on me. I don't know why he looking like that.
That's a competitor.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got a lot of background noise interference. I don't know what that's about, but
for me,
I don't know. I hear a lot of humming when you're talking. I don't know if it's just y'all can hear it too, or just my end.
Yeah, it's a little static, a little popping.
Yeah,
a little static. Yeah. Is it on my end? Let me mute.
I think so.
Check.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is it me?
I think it's gone now. Whatever it was, you fixed it.
Okay. Look at that. See, look at that. We good.
Oh yeah. So let me hear what you were saying. though. I couldn't hear you. What would you say?
That was good.
We gonna see. I'm gonna pull up on him. We're gonna see what it is.
I thought I heard something about ping pong. Well, you already know what it is, man.
I know what it is. Do you know what it is?
Okay. See you soon.
We gonna see. This ain't like you can't cheat me out of this one.
I got you.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work. But yeah, we're gonna jump into it. Appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody watching. We appreciate you. If you can share the broadcast, anyone on here, if you guys want to share the broadcast, you can do that to your networks. We appreciate Dez and Baba Amin and Brother Sundiata joining us. Three men putting in work. Pillars in their community, influencers, and so each one of them have stuff going on. So I can't wait to hear. Me and Sundiata was supposed to meet up, but we didn't get a chance. Our schedules didn't get to meet. So I'm hyped to hear some of the things that we have going on. But I do want to put out one particular thing that came up to me that I said I would address on here. And Dez, I know you're on here, so I know you'll be able to speak to it too. And that is in regards to a young man who was kind of dedicated himself to a sport, and he went out for the team and didn't make it, and kind of went into a depression. And there's a parent that was trying to find advice to help that young man come back, to break out of that depression. I know all y'all have been there, done that. So kind of wanted to kind of hear what advice you would give to a parent who's dealing with a teenager or a preteen who didn't make a sports team and they're depressed about it. What would you kind of say? What kind of guidance would you give? Anybody can start off.
Okay, so I'll start. I would there's a few things I would say. You know what I mean? I would first ask questions regarding the context that we find ourselves in. Are there any other outlying depressions or mental illness issues that we should be concerned with? Because it may not be something that is just singular to one thing. It might be something that's more comprehensive. So that's the first thing I would do. But if it's just something relegated to the event, I would just, do my best to show the child footage of greats and kind of what it took for them to be great, and maybe go into a lot of the greats' stories, because at the beginning, middle, or end of all greats' stories, you'll find failure. You know what I mean? And you'll find perseverance through failure. So, I would just kind of show the kid, aspirational, goals, and just points in which these people who they deem as being great have gone through many, many hardships and issues.
Right.
I guess last point I would, say is really just focus on getting the kids small wins. I'm big on that. So if you know that you can identify something that the kid is great in and that the kid knows he or she is great in, find ways to just like hyper indulge them in those activities to get that dopamine hit that they would need to kind of keep going and revive their spirit.
Word.
I like that. To piggyback a little bit about what Veg said, the first thing that I would address would be the mental health aspect of the whole situation. And I think that just like he mentioned, that it could be a little bit more than that person just not making that particular team that needs to be addressed. That could have just been that straw that broke the camel's back to take him to that spiral of depression.
Right.
The next thing is identify the weaknesses that can be improved upon to make the team the next time that opportunity comes, the next time the opportunity comes around, and specifically putting in the work. I'm big on putting in the work. How much work did you put in to get to this point of the tryout? When did that work start? Right. And what needs to be done moving forward to put yourself in a position to make the team? Let's go to these games if it's a basketball situation, and if you want to make the team and you play the guard position, let's look at the guards that they have there. Let's see what they're doing and what they're bringing to the table that you're not. And let's figure out, how do I get my game, or how do I get my skill level to the place where I can make the team? So after we deal with the mental health aspect of it, the next thing is, we can't sit there and sulk about it. Now it's work to do. Michael Jordan, just like Veg said, there's many stories like that. But Michael Jordan, specifically with the basketball, he got cut from his JV team. That doesn't mean it's the end for you. That's just the beginning, you know? And sometimes you need to face that early adversity to kind of give you an idea of what you need to do as an individual to put yourself in a position where you can be a part of whatever it is that you want to be a part of. So it's positive that comes along with that. But the first thing I would do is certainly address the mental health aspect of it and figure out exactly where that depression is coming from.
Say word. Say word.
I agree with all of that. Go ahead, Baba. Me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, brothers gave outstanding response and outlook, particularly with paying attention of, to any possible outlying issues, like brother said, that could be a culmination of some things, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be that with a lot of young people, they visualize the ending and not necessarily pay attention to what it takes to get to the ending. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this young man has a history in team sports. Is it the first time getting engaged in team sports? Sometimes we think it's going to translate from the playground to the team, and it doesn't always do that. So we don't necessarily have the context, to go with it. But I would, provide him with a safe space where he can be listened to, express what part of the process disappointed him, and then find where he got some W's in that process. Like number one, takes a lot of bravery to go out for it in the first place, right? So what are some of the things that you did right? Let's see if we can pinpoint exactly where you think that you went wrong, or you know what I'm saying, or what are some other alternatives too? Are there some community teams that we can go and try out for, or how can we work on this? I don't want you to give up on your team. You're supposed to be disappointed. Matter of fact, I'm glad it bothers you that you didn't make it that good. That shows that you care, right? But now it's time to see how we respond, how we get up. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to what happens to you. And so now it's time to see that response, right? But no one can control that response except you. And just let them know you have the power to respond. How we gonna respond to this?
That's real, brother. That's real.
That's real. I would only add, just for her to be able to demonstrate to him the difference between object referral and self-referral, and that's something we all tend to have to learn along the way, right? And so, it was a time where I identified with the objects in my life, whether that was a position on a job, a title, a status in the community, whatever, just the car I drove, whatever. I identified as that thing. And when you understand who you are, separate from the objects in your life, and truly start to identify self-value, and these things are just now added value to your life, but they don't define who and what you are, because we never know. He may never make a team, right? And he still can't come to that conclusion, right? Because he has to see more value in who he is as a young man and as a growing man, and all that he has to offer to the world that is within him. Open beyond these objects. It'd be great if we make it. It's great if these things happen, but as I know, things come and they go. Titles come and they go. And I can personally, attest to that. Even talking about the education, the loss of my school, to have that identity as Mr. S of Crossroads Charter High School, and then it to be gone, and you ask yourself then, like, well, who am I outside of that? You know what I mean? And you have to realize that you still who you are, right? You still got everything. You just take it to the next assignment. But just knowing that difference between object referral and self-referral is one of the things I would add to that.
That's money, yo. It's money.
Yeah.
What I love about it is that everybody's temperament seems to be on the same page. I know many times, especially men, we want to have our children do well, and of course we do, you know what I mean? But then when we get specific to sports, especially, and then the same sex child, so for men it's the son, we have a super vigilant, super fervent approach, and many times that translates into screaming on the kid and projecting, you know, so much like Al Bundy and Polk High. You start reflecting on all the things, all the jump shots you missed, and want to transfer that spirit onto the child.
Look at Vig with that, with the Married with Children out Bundy.
Right. Timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just like dope that beyond the content of everybody's message, the spirit with which they're delivering that message is just as key. Definitely.
Word. And I definitely will concentrate on the psychology of that whole thing. I think it's a great opportunity when it comes to sports being the reason for the disappointment. That's the best scenario to teach there, to respond to teach them how to cope with the disappointment of life. Because sports at the end of the day doesn't even mean anything, right? I mean, well, as adults, we understand that. Like, you didn't make the team, so what? There'll be another opportunity. There's other teams, it's all good. But to kind of teach them how to handle disappointment, frustration, maybe even a little bout of depression, teaching them how to pull themselves up from a dark place and change perspective, and like Baba Amin said, count the W's here. And then, everyone was saying evaluate where you went wrong. And these kind of things, these are the ingredients to a positive, successful life. Because life is about overcoming the obstacles. Like, talk to me about how you had to pull yourself up.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you had to beat something, overcome something internally, Talk to me about that kind of stuff. Those are the kind of things that people respect and that you'll learn to respect about yourself. So when it happens in the context of sports, I get hyped. Now, like, this is the best place to teach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'll be a little more difficult if maybe a loved one passed away and you're pulling yourself out of that. That's a whole deeper thing to deal with. You see what I'm saying? But if it's in the context of sports, like Daniel got cut his 8th grade year, and it was a big deal. Like, we were prepping for it, practicing, doing all that, and he got cut. He locked himself in his room for a good 2-3 days. I mean, he wasn't responding, and then all of a sudden it just started to click. The talks we were giving him and all, it just clicked. And then, like Dad said, he went back, reviewed what he was doing wrong, and next thing you know, he got cut from his 8th grade team, but went straight to varsity as soon as he went to East Mac.
Right.
So the difference, the ability to, okay, this happened to me. How do I bounce back? And now those same lessons we went over and how we bounced back from basketball, crossed over into real life.
Yes, sir.
So when he approaches those obstacles, it's like, listen, I've had so many W's. Say it again?
Yeah. I've been here before.
Yeah. Right. So many W's. I beat that. I'm going to beat this too. Let's work.
Right.
And so
a lot of times young people need to be reminded, they need to be reminded of W's.
Right.
That's why we have to be conscious in our conversation with young people to help them find value in themselves beyond what mainstream might be telling them, or because you find your value, man, it's natural. You just now finding your identity, trying to fit in, you trying to find your niche, and you think you found it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, maybe I'm not that, or the coach is saying I'm not that. I tied a whole lot of self-worth into this.
Come on.
So it's very important that the village and the people around them, the stakeholders, are saying, man, you know what? You still a great artist. You still great at this. You still do this. Man, I remember one time when you did this and this. So, when a young person is down, sometimes they just need a little help remembering themselves.
Yeah.
And knows her baby like she does.
If I can add this too, for me, it was a little. The challenge for me was, I finally, after having 2 girls, I had a son, right? And you got these ideas, right? I boxed, I did this, right? So you automatically got these ideas. But my son came into the world special needs, right? So for me to even have to make that masculine adjustment, right? And he wasn't into any of that, and still isn't, right? Into any of that, and then even not, wanting to play golf and being able to support that, even though he's Tiger Woods ain't in the makings here, but I got to support it, and I got to make him feel good about his efforts, and then put him in the right position, right, around the right people who know, okay, he's not right. Let's still celebrate him and make him feel welcome, and finding those spaces for that. Right. That sometimes, my school, I made an effort to not overly celebrate those super athletes and not. I gave more effort to the honor roll kids. Listen, we had bigger pep rallies for those kids who, we come from. We used to, right? And so I think for me as a father, though, that was that adjustment, right? Of when you have a child that's not going to following those same type of, and then you have to make the adjustment and then find the spaces for them to get those wins, as you talk about. I mean, like to count them, because he still needs W's, right? He still needs wins. He still needs to feel good, even if he's not the best, on the field or wherever it is. So yeah, that was my adjustment.
That's real. That's real. They end up teaching us a whole lot as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. That teaching is not just a one-way street. It really is a two-way street. I remember sitting with my sons when they were very little, and they were big in like Legos, right? So of course we nurtured that, because in our minds, like, okay, he's going to be an engineer. So we give them all the Legos they can handle, and they sit down. And I remember, especially with my oldest, he would be building something, and I just sit back and watch him. And there'll be something that he did wasn't quite along a linear path, and I'll be just about to stop him and say, no, son, you might want to try this. But something in my spirit just told me to like be quiet and be still and let him do what he has to do. 2 minutes later, he's building something I would have never thought he would be able to build at a very young age. You know what I mean? So that was a lesson for me, just like, A, they're teaching us, B, there's more ways to accomplish a goal than just the way that I have in my brain. And I think once I realized that, it kind of opened up a lot more in terms of how to communicate with my kids. And then having a second kid, realizing that they're very different in many ways, just their temperament, how they absorb information, their learning styles, and the fact that one size doesn't fit all in that way. So I always applaud you brothers as educators and coaches, and I've coached in my life as well, and it's just amazing how finding the different communication styles and learning styles. That shit is super key.
Yo, and real quick, because you mentioned coaching, let me just. There's a certain athlete on this broadcast right now, right? Full scholarship with Johnson C. Smith. Like he did a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like he's on point. But we were opponents when it came to coaching. And I remember taking this basketball team from a camp at the Citadel. And I beat him. And boy, he didn't like that. I just want to put that in there. I don't have too many wins over this brother. So the ones I gotta get him in there. I had to Pat Riley him. You see what I'm saying? I won't mention no names of who it was. I won't say anything. I'm just saying. I had to,
I think this same brother got a couple of wins on his call right about here, because I know I'm 0-1 against him myself. Back to your Sertoma football, bro.
Come on, Chris.
I was about who brother? Sertoma. Yeah, you remember them days.
You weren't going to beat Desmond boy in Sertoma. That wasn't going to happen.
No. Chris, who'd you play for, Chris?
Stratford.
I knew
we were the biggest school. No, we were the biggest. We like the biggest school in the state. This little school and these little dudes. I'm like, oh man, we about to wrap these boys up.
Yes, sir.
Get to these girls.
Yes, only a quarter.
Huh?
It's only a quarter.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
That's all they need, brother. You ain't got time to come back. It's over.
Yo, we got rolling a quarter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good old days, man.
We got to count those W's against Dez, man. He win too much, man.
Actually,
hey, I'm telling you,
I'm not sure. I think you beat me in the regular season. Then in that camp, we saw each other in the championship. You had the best kid in the camp, and I think we beat you in the championship. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to give you a win. We're going to give you a win.
I never lose in the championship game. Think against you. I never lose that. Remember, we met in the regular. It was in a regular thing. I didn't have the best kid. What are you talking about? I didn't have the best kid.
You got it. You got it.
Listen. Remember, I know we off topic, but listen. I remember one time I was feeling good about my game. Like I'm finger roll, poke smooth. Like I'm feeling good. Yo, Daz comes on. Daz, this is back when I lived at Campus Edge. But he already know the story.
Yes, sir.
Dad's like, OB, you think you're nice? Dad, I'll beat you right now.
Yeah.
But they said check ball.
Yeah.
I started off hot too. I'm taking them right, taking them left, bucket. Dad, I miss. Dad's get the ball, and Dad starts going in the post. Y'all know Dad's short, but it don't matter. It don't matter. He start Calvert Cheney. You know what I'm saying? Calvert Cheney. Man. Hey, V, it was embarrassing, man. It was embarrassing. I didn't even bring it back up no more. I just let it go.
Yeah, you stopped talking to me for a while after that one.
I stopped.
It's all good.
Hold on.
I have no experience.
Was he still talking on the court?
You know, so I don't know about
Hey,
that.
we can leave our story out the mix.
Yeah, let's do that.
I ain't gonna tell the fellas what I did to you.
Oh, Chris, you got embarrassed? Don't do that, brother.
No, this vague. This vague.
Oh, V, you told me you can hoop.
No, this was on the pool table. He was doing all that yip yapping, and I told yeah.
What? Hold on, what? Let's not revise the story here.
We're gonna stay on topic. I'm gonna let y'all boys live today.
I'm gonna see. Sundiata, you good? You a Teddy Rat?
Yeah, I know, man. I keep kicking me out. Y'all want me here.
Yeah, that was
from
two.
South Carolina. I'm not from South Carolina. I know what this is.
See? And G, you good? Oh, look at Greg. Greg, I call on him. He said, I'm out. Look at DeMarco talking about he just put the rock back up. Hey, DeMarco, I didn't know you hooped either. So you got to let me know when I come to the ATL. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see what the skills are, what the skills looking like. Any of y'all still hoop? Anybody still play basketball?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you got to say yes, sir, quick with authority.
Yeah.
I did.
You know, we tried the pandemic.
I started back up right before the pandemic, and the gym that I was at, they shut down when the pandemic started. So you know, that's when I got into this right here. So that's what I do now.
You see, I'm listen. We're gonna get into that right now because we're gonna talk about, since we're talking about young men being molded. There's two important areas when it comes to molding young men. One is fitness. The other one is the mind, right? So, you know, all three of you guys who are guests today can talk to all of that. You know what I'm saying? And DeMarco, hold on real quick. DeMarco talking about, you know, he gonna say let's go, but at a 40-year-old pace. I don't want to hear excuses now. That's not what we do, right? I don't want to hear age talk.
Right.
You know, on the court. It's time to go. That's it. We don't do that, right? But Des, talk to us a little bit about your initiative, what you started. You said the pandemic came and shut down the basketball, but you started something else.
Yeah. So just a little bit about my background, man. I as I guess we were talking about for the last couple of minutes, I've been heavy into sports as a kid, and in adulthood that really didn't change. And I started off like post college and football and all that kind of stuff. I got into the flag football. And I did that for years and really enjoyed it. I had a bad knee injury a couple of years back playing flag football. So that kind of took me out of that. And like I said, I picked up a little bit of weight and wanted to get back active, started playing basketball. The pandemic came and shut that down. And a friend of mine that I played flag football with, he introduced me to pickleball. So my background in racket sports is ping pong. Growing up in me and OB's neighborhood, we played a lot of ping pong. And when I went to college, man, that's all I did. Missed a lot of class playing ping pong. So when I got introduced to pickleball, it was ping pong to me. The best way I can describe it to people was it's like ping pong on a bigger court. It's ping pong with movement. You're actually not stationary, you're actually moving. So to hear others kind of explain what it is to people, you would get a combination of badminton, tennis, and ping pong. And when I found this game, man, instantly I fell in love with it. And it's very addicting, man. And for the last probably about a year and a half, a little bit more than a year and a half, I've been into it really hard. So what got me to this call was when I got into ping pong, to pickleball, everywhere I played, I'd be the only black person out there playing. It was a friend of mine that is a white gentleman that introduced me to it. And so once I fell in love with it and I saw how great of a game it was, I felt the need to introduce this to my people, and try in the Charleston community to diversify pickleball. So that's really been my mission the last 6 months. I started We Pickle. That's one organization that diversifies the sport, and it's a melting pot for the Charleston area where any nationality, anybody can come and play together and feel comfortable. The second part of what I did was I started the Port City Pickleball Club, and what that is an initiative to introduce pickleball to the African American community to promote health and wellness. And the reason why it's important, because this is a game that you can play at all ages. So I definitely wanted to get our seniors involved, because when I started playing, yes, I played with a lot of people my age, but also who was present there were seniors. And a lot of my friends joked about it when they first heard that I played pickleball, because the only image of pickleball that you've seen over the last couple of years are older white folks, 60 and older. And what I can tell you is, yes, that is true. They are out there playing. But more importantly, that's what's getting lost in the mix is people our age are playing. Millions and millions of people our age are playing. So it's a game for everybody. And what was inspiring to me is I'm not a person, I'm a competitive person. So waking up and going to the gym and lifting weights, or going outside and saying I'm going to run a couple of miles, that's nothing I'm going to do. I may do it temporarily, but that's nothing I'm going to stick to and be committed to. So for me, I had to find something that I got that competitive fix. I need that fix to look forward to work hard, to be good at, so I can talk my stuff. Any of y'all boys who know me, you know I'm a talker. So I got to find something that's going to put that fire in me, and lifting weights and going out and running miles and doing that kind of stuff. That's not it for me. So once I found that, that was right up my alley. And this is something I definitely want to share for my folks who are no longer involved in basketball and whatever sport that they were doing when they were younger, but still has that burning competitive fire. We can, boys, fellas, ladies, whomever's listening to this, this is something that we can take well into our 70s and be competitive. A couple of days a week, I work with people that are seniors, and we're sitting and you look and you laugh, and I take y'all out in court with them, and they're running circles around people that are in their 30s and 40s, and they're 70 plus. And that was inspiring to me.
That's beautiful.
That was inspiring to me. It was like, I have no excuse. Because it's one thing to hear about it, but when you're in the midst of these people and you see what they do on a day-to-day basis, that allows them at 70, 72, 73 years old to still be running around and being competitive in a sport. In my community, in the Black seniors that I grew up with, that I've been around, that I've been exposed to, I've never seen it.
Right.
I've never seen it. So to me, it was like, I got the secret. I got the cheat code, and I'll be doing a disservice if I'm not bringing it back to my people.
Right.
So it was very important that I shared this game with my people and let them understand that it's competitive, and this is something that you can do at any age well into your 70s. And I'm challenging all you fellas, if you're looking for something, if you're looking for something to try, hey, just give it a shot. Just give it a shot and see if you like it. I'm addicted to it. I have outside of the groups I started with my wife. That's something that me and my wife do together. That's something that my brother and his wife, we all play together weekly. So it's a social thing. It's a family thing. I have an older brother that's in Atlanta, Georgia. Him and his wife is in it. They come down here. They played in tournaments. So if I didn't have pickleball in my life, these things wouldn't be happening in my life. So I'm thankful for bringing that social aspect to me and my brothers, my family, and anybody that can share it with friends that I grew up with in the neighborhood. I got all these boys playing. Everybody's playing, and everybody loves it. So it's just exposing and being willing to try something new. Yeah. And then seeing what you can do with it. So that's my spill on pickleball. I want all y'all boys to give it a shot. It was on the Today Show yesterday. It's the fastest growing sport in the world. Not America, in the world. It's the fastest growing sport. So give it a try, fellas. Give it a try. Pickleball, man.
I'm with that. Yo, you had Smitty out there. I ain't seen Smitty since 1922.
That's what I'm telling you, man. And we out there consistently. This ain't something that fellas, that we pick up and we do every blue moon. Now we play together. We play together 2 to 3 times a week. So I'm telling y'all to say we're active.
Yeah.
They were.
We're active. We're not on the couch. We're getting our heart rate up. We're running around.
Still talking trash.
Oh man,
You got to.
I'm about to tell you right now, when we start playing, I know I'm gonna beat you. You.
Whoa.
You and me. I'm 2-0 right there, right off gate.
You and who?
And before I let y'all, talk a little bit about it, fellas, I'm actually going to be in Charlotte the week of Thanksgiving to spend Thanksgiving with my mom. Any of y'all fellas that's in Charlotte or the areas that want to get up one day and let me just show you what this thing's about and bring whomever else, we can link up outside of this and make that happen because I have some other friends up there that's waiting on me to get up there to be exposed to it. So, man, give it a shot, man. Pickleball, man.
Yeah, I'll play. I'll definitely play.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play because I gotta get a dub, man. I gotta get a dub against D Brown.
There you go. Yeah. You gotta put in some work for a couple years. I'm ready, man. I'm ready out here.
D-Mid said he coming in the comments. D-Mid in the building. What's up, D-Mid?
D-Mid, I love him. That's my big brother, but D-Mid is flam. I've been trying to get D-Mid. And my child is supposed to know what that means. He probably laughing in the comments, but honestly, I've been trying to get my and he said he's going to get there. But when he does, man, once you get a taste, if you're a competitor, and if you don't have anything competitive going on in your life, this is something that you do more than once. That's for sure.
D-Mid be flamming? Come on, don't flam.
And all of my experience and all the things I've done with him, we've done many things together. This is the only time I ran into that issue with him. But he said, he's gonna get out there. So I'm waiting to see that.
Hey Des, where would you go about playing? Is it played on a basic tennis court or is it somewhere else?
That's a good question. So pickleball is something that you can play indoors and outdoors. When a lot of times when you see indoor facilities, it's in basketball gyms because you can run the lines on the basketball courts, and then it's outside as well. So I play both. And it's 2 different games because when you're outside, you're dealing with the elements because the ball you're playing with is a wiffle ball. So, it has holes in it. So, you're taking the factors of the wind and all of the weather elements outside, and then indoors, it's just a different game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I got W's coming.
If any of you guys ever played ping pong, like I said, that was our thing in the neighborhood. And I don't know what Marifa, I'm sorry, I know him as OB. Yeah. So he was talking about ping pong, but I don't lose to nobody in the neighborhood in ping pong, so I'm not sure what you refer. You really don't want those problems.
I can't remember if we played on Smith too. I can't remember if me and you played though 1-on-1. We did. I don't remember that. You don't remember.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay. Hey,
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Ain't no thing with me. There ain't no problem. Listen, I didn't even go to the school, and I was on the rankings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's work.
Yes, that's true. That's a true story. Hey, but most people don't know that you didn't go to the school, so that's our secret.
That's still crazy to me. Like people be like, "Yo, remember when you went to Smith?" Nah, hold on. I did not go to Smith. I was the bum. Yeah, you were focused. I was not.
Nah, man.
I was still trying to figure things out. You know what I'm saying?
And look at you now, brother.
I'm glad you created this platform to give me an opportunity to share this, man, because honestly, really, that's my mission right now, and I'm just trying to, I went through a spill. I was going through some things last year, and pickleball kind of found me at the right time mentally, and from a health standpoint, just getting out and exercising and being active every day, getting that heart rate up and keeping that weight down. So for me, it served many purposes. So yeah, man, hopefully I can get with a couple of you fellas and share it with you,
Word. And this particular platform highly endorses fitness, health. We are sponsored by, watch it now, Chris. Here I go. We are sponsored by.
Don't maybe go downstairs and grab it.
Mentonic, the herbs, all of that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Put it in you. Get right. When I tell you everything improves, Gentlemen, watching this broadcast, everything improves, my brother. You understand?
There you go, man. Put your boy on. Put your boy on.
Listen, Cat Wise is in No Charleston.
Yeah.
You told me that. Yeah, he got
real good.
He in No Charleston. So I'm gonna send the information. Man, I can put it in the chat right now, the website, as we speak. Because it's that serious.
And kind of share the things that you guys are taking and using and the benefits of those things to give us some sort of direction on. You know, I'm into it a little bit too, but I'm always here to listen and figure out what things can, you know, put that fuel in my body. So yeah, man, I'm all ears. Y'all boys share that information with me.
Oh yeah, commercial time. Mentonic. Fellas, good for your health, stamina, mental clarity. Oh, and by the way, your lady will like it too.
Now remember,
appreciate you, Bubba.
You gotta keep taking it so it can kick in. Don't get it and then be like, yo, in 24 hours, I'm expecting to be Hercules and all that. Whoa, relax.
Right.
Let it work a little bit. You understand? But after about a couple days a week, results.
In your favorite smoothie or a glass of water.
Yeah.
1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon a day.
1 teaspoon. That's it.
Mentonic.
It's on the website too. I put the website in the comments, and go to the website, look at Mentonic. Things about $25 or something like that.
$25, $6.99 on shipping. But if you get two, it's $6.99 on shipping.
Yeah, $6.99 on shipping. It comes quick though. It comes quick. You'll receive it, start taking it, and you in the mix. What do y'all? So. Who all's gonna try pickleball? Because I'm definitely in.
Oh man,
I'm gonna put it.
You already know I'm competitive, man. You already know I'm competitive, and you know I don't got a jump shot like what is it, Seth Curry anymore?
Right.
Oh, what's up, bro, Kelly?
Look at Kelly in the building. Now,
Kings.
What's going on?
Okay.
All right, Bob.
You good? So Dad's introduced a new sport that I'm going to beat you in, but I want you to I'm gonna do a little recap. It's pickleball. I'm not sure if you're familiar with pickleball, but as you discover what it is, just know when it's time to play me, right? I will be getting the W. Look at V. This ain't rap, brother. You don't have the advantage.
Listen.
This ain't rap.
Listen, and I'm gonna speak real slow, Marifus. You can hear me.
All right.
I'm nice in everything, man.
I'm
just a winner. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man.
And whatever I'm not good in right now, I will learn. I will get better at. I will grow.
Look at Baba Amin.
I'm gonna come to you.
Baba Amin, don't try to boost him up. It's too late for him, man. Don't.
Oh, that's the mentality right there. I understand that. that.
Yeah,
he's trying to gas it.
We shoot pool, we play ball, we play cards.
Oh,
we play Monopoly, we play Scrabble, we play chess.
Come on,
we
man.
do whatever. You know what I mean?
We do whatever. All right.
We do whatever.
All right. Kelly, man, what's the word, man? You and Chris, y'all joining us. We talking about pickleball, fitness, all that good stuff. Kelly, you good, brother?
No question, brother. Live and kicking. I see my man, brother Adrian Sundiata hiding over there.
There you go.
They got all the
kind of
Teddy
right now. I'm here for it, brother.
He kind of Teddy Riley a little bit though. See, kind of glitchy. You know what I'm saying? He got that nice hoodie on.
I don't think that's me.
The movements are a little slow, Sundiata. What's happening here?
Hey, brother. I'm a poor working class. Listen,
don't do that.
I ain't middle class. I ain't middle class,
proletariat.
I got the slowest speed. Listen, I got the least amount of gigs. I got all, yeah.
Word.
I'm doing good to be here.
I feel you.
Yeah. I just upgraded from a flip phone, brother. Listen,
I believe it too. He ain't playing with you. God, he in warrior mode. You know what I'm saying? So, Daz, man, when you come up, man, we definitely got a link, and you can show us the ropes, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt, man. And like I said, I'm actually going to be up there Thanksgiving weekend. Another thing I want to say to your listeners in Charleston, anyone who has kids who not involved in your typical basketball, football, baseball, and need to get off the couch looking for something to do. Here again, like our children, the African-American kids, we don't get introduced to racket sports. That's something that we're not introduced to at an early age.
Right.
And So now I'm trying to change all of that. So working with some programs in the inner city, teaching
Right.
kids pickleball. I'll be starting a actual league in the spring for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working with beginners. So anybody who has kids involved, I'm Des Brown, Live Love on Facebook. Reach out to me, or We Pickle on Facebook. Send me a request. You can get information how to get your kids involved. And y'all moms, man, your dads, man, 60, 70 years old, just sitting around the house, feel like they ain't got it no more in the tank. I'll put them in the right environments where they see people that are their same age, that are out here living life. Running around every day chasing balls and be inspired by that. So just link them with me, man. I'm the black guy in Charleston that plays pickleball, you know. So that's how it works. Yeah.
We're gonna definitely link Des for real. When you come in town, you know what I mean?
No doubt. Ain't many, it's not many physical sports activities that people are playing above 60 years old, whether that's whatever color you are, it doesn't matter. So this is one that you actually can do, be competitive at, enjoy, and have the social aspect too. So yeah, man, anybody that y'all know that's interested, and like I said, my mission is health and fitness, getting us off the couch, getting us off these medications, putting these diabetes and these heart diseases. Hey, we control a lot of these things.
Come on.
And the number one thing we got to do is get them moving. Get them moving, man.
Gotta move.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta move.
If I'm lying, I play with this lady, man. A couple of them. It's like 3 or 4. 178, 174, 176, and another one is 72. If I didn't tell you their ages and you go out and you're playing a sport with these ladies, man, they literally would whoop you. But they're not walking and limping around the court. They chasing balls. 75 plus, man. My dad didn't make it to 70. My dad didn't make it that far. And I think about this all the time. Would be when we was growing up and we was on Forest Park, you saw Mr. Major, you saw Liz, and every blue moon for a couple of months, my dad used to join them, and they used to hit the tennis ball back and forth across the net at the park. Other than that, we weren't exposed to seniors that were active, that were out there working out, that were out there running, that were out there doing things. So I want to make it my business to let our people know that, hey, you can do this until your time is up.
That's right.
Right.
And that's it. That's the mission, Bubba.
Des,
man. Respect, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 3 things jumped out to me. You know what I mean? That's real powerful. The first thing is the health aspect, the idea that we need circulation in our blood. Be moving around, we can, lose weight, we can get healthy, all those things. Secondly, the cross-generational aspect to it too. The idea that you can be with multiple generations. I feel like we've lost a lot of that in our daily activities. The power of culture is that you can have things baked into your lifestyle to the point where it's not a thought, it's just something that you do. And then from that is outgrowths that are positive for the community. So being able to be on the court, maybe with your grandparents and then grandkids and then the parents themselves. So having that, and then thirdly, you hit on something in terms of the dearth of the amount of Black kids who don't necessarily get keyed in with racket sports.
Right.
Consider the fact that most of us are drawn to things that we see on the TV screen, so basketball, baseball, and football. But in terms of being outliers, especially in this quasi-social justice environment, we all know that they don't really care, but they have to front like they care. So the more that we can excel in spaces that they're not normally expecting to see us, that's when we can really take advantage and leverage this opportunity to get free rides someplace. So if you can have, a Black kid who plays racquetball, or a Black kid who maybe does fencing or just something that's out of the ordinary, we can tend to leverage those into great opportunities to get free rides, or at least get some aspect of education's paid for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You're 100% right, man. And one thing else I want to say, when we're dealing with the seniors, I recently started playing in tournaments, and both of my mixed doubles partners, these ladies are African-American ladies in their 60s, man. And y'all know I'm extremely competitive. I don't play nothing to say, oh, we had fun. If I'm out there, I'm trying to win. So how pickleball works, and when you play in the tournaments, if you're 60 and your partner's 40, you have to play with the 40-year-olds. You see what I'm saying? I can't go up and play with the 60-year-olds. If they're good enough, they have to come down and play with the people my age. So these ladies are running around and balling with people that are my age. Getting it? I'm talking about they're good. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that stuff is inspiring. For my wife, she looks at them and she has them on a pedestal because she knows in the next 20 years, she got to be doing the same exact thing. And if this wasn't introduced to her, she didn't have that to look up to. So she see these ladies that are 60 and 65 years old, busting her butt on the court. Like she can't get on the court with them. They're running all over the court, chasing balls. And she was like, yo, when I'm that age, that's what I inspire to do. And if nothing else, fellas, that makes it worth it. That makes it worth it.
Hey, D, man, tell the truth. You still talking trash to the ladies, ain't you?
I absolutely do, Bubba. Absolutely. They know me. And they put up with, and you got to also think, man, I'm unapologetically myself. So that took some adjustment for them because there's this black man that's coming into this white setting, and he never stops talking.
Talk to him, Dad.
I don't care who you are.
Yo, man.
If I smash the ball and you 70, I might stay down. I don't discriminate, Bubba. I don't discriminate.
I gotta find out what was in the water fountains at St. Andrews, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more our neighborhood, man. That's how all of us are. That's how we grew up, and that makes it fun. So the feedback I get from a lot of people before I got involved, I brought a different element to pickle. It was a hush-hush sport. They out there playing. There's no excitement, no enthusiasm. Everybody quiet. Yo, I'm up there yelling. How I was on the football field, that's how I'm on the pickleball court. True story.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. Bob, I know you wanted to get in there and say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, just in terms of education, in terms of molding our children, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never heard of pickleball before. It's my first time ever hearing pickleball. I done Googled it. I don't watch people play while brother was talking. You know what I'm saying? But what comes to mind is the importance of broadening the menu, right?
Yeah.
And I think inside of our community, we've been socialized to fit into certain spaces, right? And we'll declare spaces white spaces and black spaces. You know what I'm saying? But these are spaces that you can create for yourself. You can build a court and play pickleball on in the middle of the hood if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I think as men, part of our charge as adults and men is to broaden the menu, because it's not about whether or not you're a football player, basketball player, baseball player, whatnot. It's the transferable skills that you pick up, the mental fitness you pick up in competition, the things you learn about yourself, the self-discovery that comes from competition. So, you know, most of our children won't identify with the big 3 or 4 sports that society says we're supposed to fit into. So we should be about the business of investing in our youth and investing in new experiences for them. You know what I'm saying?
New experiences, absolutely.
Ball was introduced on a mass level or just introduced in a setting with black youth. Somebody gonna play and gonna be good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's we control our narrative. You know, we control our narrative. So as men, we invest in and say, yo, this is cool. This is what we do now. This is on the menu now. We have to broaden the menu. So I appreciate you bringing that to the table, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Respect, Bob.
And I am interested. And so if I get down to Charleston, man, I got to get your info, because me and the wife will come down and play some pickleball.
Man, do that.
I mean, you right there in Columbia. That ain't nothing.
I'm right up the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
that's right there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, come check us out, man. And like I said, now that I've been putting in the work, now when you come into the environments that I created, the rules are you coming in and you seeing 30 or 40 black folks out there playing. Before, like I told y'all, man, for at least a year, if I didn't bring a friend out or I didn't drag a friend out, it would just be me. Now I have these environments down here in Charleston where you come any given time, you see 20 or 30 of us out there getting it. So it's growing. My goal is in the next 6 to 8 months to have 100 of us out here playing consistently. And that's the mission, fellas.
I'm with it.
That's dope.
I'm with it. We're gonna have a branch in Charlotte.
Yeah, no doubt. We need it.
Yeah. A little something here. I'm with it. Yeah, man. We appreciate it, man. The fitness, the aspect. Again, if anyone watching, you want to get with Dez on it. Dez, can you like put a comment in the on the Facebook broadcast so people can click on you and follow you, friend you, and put the info for the We Pickle page.
Yep.
All that stuff so they can join that and get involved in the community. Something about getting involved in the community helps you to stick with it.
Yes,
Hard
sir.
to do things when you're by yourself, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want that solo individual tip? I'm gonna show you a struggle you don't have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're human beings, supposed to be social, supposed to be connected. That's why I have the hoodie on right now. I am because we're a group, we're a unit, we're a circle, connected together. It's much easier to overcome things when you're connected. You'll stick with stuff better. You have a workout partner, someone you hoop with, someone you do stuff with. It's just easier when you have people with you. Right. There's a strength you can't account for that comes from another person. So, not to get on a soapbox, but I think it's important. So, We Pickle community, Dad's gonna put that in the comments, man, and join up, man. Even if you don't live in Charleston, join up. And then look, he must have pushed the wrong button, and then he dropped. Listen, I got jokes for y'all, boy. You know why I got jokes? I'm talking like I'm arrogant because listen, I upgraded to that high speed internet, Sundiata, and I've been feeling good for like 6-8 months now. Like, I don't Teddy Riley anymore. I don't skip.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm down here. Listen, I'm down here with the poor working class revolutionaries. We listen. You got to get on low frequency radio for me. We need to be on radio. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, bro.
Catch a neighbor without a password.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
We short circuit radios around here, brother. So, we with you. I'm happy for you. I'm gonna come share yours. We're gonna do an internet cooperative.
Internet cooperative. I'm down. I'm cool with that. Internet cooperative all day. I can roll with that. And for anybody, I put Dez's information in the comments.
I also did too. I did too.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, so y'all can follow, join the We Pickle community, and just do something. I saw Sister Rhonda post a push-up challenge.
Yeah.
There's do something to be active. Do something to stay fit. It improves everything. It improves everything, man. Mood, mindset, focus, but everything. It definitely connects. And then when you mess around and connect the right type of knowledge with the workout, right? Your body's on point. Now you're getting the mind on point. And that's kind of like why I wanted Sundiata and Baba Amin to come on here and really speak to mindset. And I'll just say I'm definitely involved in the education side of our people. And one thing I can attest to, all the books read, all that stuff, is that my life took a different trajectory when I got that information. When I got certain pieces of knowledge and understood things correctly, my life changed direction. And with that change in direction, things started happening for me, right? And I think knowledge makes a difference. If I didn't have that, I'm still on a path where there's a lot of things that are happening on that path. Maybe some self-hate, self-defeat, discouragement. Maybe there's some self-limitation, playing small. Sundiata would tell me, playing small, doing a lot of things that I was doing and not getting the results that I want to get because I'm on a certain path based on the education that I've got. We call it miseducation in the Pan-African world. And I just think once you get a certain type of knowledge, man, it just shifts. So it just changes. And I know Baba Amin and Sundiata can speak to that. You know what I'm saying? Baba Amin, you both of y'all had schools. You know what I'm saying? So I know y'all are heavily invested in the mind.
I say, at the Uhuru Academy, that's our goal. Our 4 pillars are spirituality, knowledge, freedom, and transformation. you
Come
know,
on.
and we are all transforming. You know, your environment is transforming you, your experiences are transforming you. So we feel like it's our mission to help guide that transformation, help children interpret that transformation. You know what I'm saying? Partner with parents, you know, on how to water that transformation and help mold that transformation mentally. We stress critical thinking in our school. You know, we stress the ability, children developing the ability to examine us and analyze a situation critically. You know, thinking is a skill, it's not a given. Thinking is a skill, you know what I'm saying? And so we definitely stress that. You know, we believe that, you know, of course, we teach our history, we teach our story, but we don't teach our story, and Sundiata can attest to this. We don't teach our story just to give names and dates. You know what I'm saying? We teach our story to build, to not only just build the self-esteem, but also to show lessons. You know what I'm saying? Life lessons, build character. You know what I'm saying? And also let them know that you are a continuation of a great story, and you're writing a chapter, and you have the power to add to this chapter. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not a guilt thing, it's not a shame thing, it's not I want you to put on a dashiki and pretend like you're an African that lived years ago. No, we're trying to equip you to beat your enemies to the future. We're trying to equip you to take us into the future. And so we stand on lessons of the past so we can understand the present. We understand the present. Now we can build for the future. So it's not about names, dates, and who was Harriet Tubman and that sort of thing. No, it's like you can do math, dude, because you are mad. Let me show you your walk with math. Let me show you your walk with science. Man, you've been doing this stuff. What you talking about, right? And so it's about empowering young people to take ownership in their narrative, ownership in their goals. You know, at the Hoover Academy, we say that's cool that you got a dream, but it'd be even better if you had a plan. You know, I love that you're dreaming, but what you planning? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, oh, because I mean, I know youngsters that be 18, 19 years old. What you gonna do, bro? I'm going to the league. Man, you ain't even on a team, ain't even in school. You know what I'm saying? And they holding on to a dream, but they've been taught the dream, right? You've been taught how to have a dream. The only speech they tell you about Dr. King is, I have a dream. So we hold on to that dream. But what about being empowered to have that plan, right? And so that's what it's all about, man. We got to navigate this thing, right? And even outside of our so-called Black power circles that we have, you know, going into public schools, going and partnering with sports teams and all that, and just planting a seed of empowerment in young people as they navigate in these spaces, man. That's super important. It's how many great athletes have we seen that are great here, great in the legs, but weak in here.
Come on.
Right? Not ready to deal with the pressures in here, right? Don't know how to emote, don't have healthy ways of dealing with pressure and stress, so they begin to do self-destructive things. You know, so yeah, man, so that's where that mental aspect comes in. How much of competition, how much of health is mental? A lot of people say, I need to lose weight, I need to do sit-ups, I need to do jumping jack. That stuff is good, but it's something mental or spiritual that's holding you back from getting up and doing that consistently every day. And when we're not dealing with when we're not dealing with the mental, right, then you're taking an incomplete approach. It's people with muscles all over their body and still mentally weak in between their ears. Right. So that the education piece is important. Education is more than a high school diploma. Education is more than a college degree. Education is pulling out inside of you, you know, the best in you, being able to manifest that and bringing it into the reality and manifesting something solid here on the ground. So yes, sir.
Come on. Yahoo Academy. Let's go.
That's what the Yahoo Academy is all about.
That's what it's all about. I love it.
Baba, is your academy online, or do you have like an actual school?
Yes, it's online. We actually have a small system of schools going right now, you know, and but right now we're really promoting our online private school. We're doing 3rd through 12th grade online right now. And when I tell you it's the best virtual education experience for Black children in the world, I'm not just advertising. You know, I would invite anyone to come in and just sit in and check out what our children experience on a daily basis, full time. We also have a campus here, a partner school here, UASC International, which is a great campus owned by the Washington family here in Columbia, and 4 acres of land, beautiful house that they converted into a school, and we go pre-K through 8th grade here. And I mean, these babies, man, not only are they getting their core subjects, but talking about broadening the menu, man. We got an archery team. They learn their wrestling. We have a STEM focus, so they're gardening and planting and harvesting crops. They're we do a heavy focus on medical science and dissection. And it's live. You know, my 3 biological youngest go to the campus here, and they come home teaching something new every day. You know, and so it's a model, man, that we want to take and replicate all throughout the diaspora.
Absolutely,
yes, sir. Brother. Yes, sir. I want to connect with that.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to, y'all. I'm telling you something. You have to. I want to share the experience. You have to, man. We have a model. Look, we get online at 9 a.m. in the morning. School's out at 4. They won't let us log off. Okay, your babies be like in there, you know what I'm saying? And it's action packed. We don't do no pre-recorded classes. Everything is live, you know, and it's a beautiful model, man. We did what we call Ancestors Ball last week, right? And you know, the whole Halloween energy, we killed that. But we Ancestors Ball, where you do a presentation, a report and a presentation on an ancestor, and you dress up as that ancestor. It could be a personal ancestor like your pawpaw, or it could be Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Man, them babies on their webcam dressed up and doing PowerPoints. And man, school started at 9 that morning. I didn't get off until 7 p.m. that night. You know, that's how engaged they were in having fun and celebrating who they are, man. So it could be done. It could be done.
Why do you think the engagement isn't the same in public school? Now, I know we have an answer, but for people who don't make the connection they don't make the distinction between Pan-African type curriculum and the public school system, what's the difference there? What if I send my child to public school? What are they not getting?
It's not about them. Like when they go to public school, the curriculum ain't really about them. You know, it's an environment where you're being molded to fit into larger society, right? And so you're not learning anything really about yourself. Matter of fact, a lot of public schools, particularly in the hood, have more of a prison vibe than a learning vibe. They're not colorful. You know, you don't see pictures of people that look like you on the wall. They're not truly invested. There's nobody to talk to if your daddy's not there. You know, there's nobody sensitive to mama maybe working hard. And, you know, it's like, I know when I went to school during the crack era and things like that, you know, if you come, the kids dealing with that coming to the school, you know, if they're in a bad mood and cause mama out there on them drugs, you better go to the office. Don't use that as an excuse. Like no one cares. You know, with an African Center school, and just because the school's African Center don't mean it's going to be good for your child. But in a school where the staff is fully vested in the success of your children, there's going to be an automatic difference. Children know, when someone cares. You know when somebody is truly vested in your success. And that's the biggest difference that we see. We don't have a youth engagement problem at the Uhuru Academy and in other African Center schools. Sundiata never had an engagement problem. That's never been the issue, right? That's not the issue at all. And so that's the biggest difference, you know, in both environments. You know, there's more free. And then as a teacher, you know how many public school teachers walk in the classroom, know what they want to teach to the child, but can't do it?
Right.
You think you're gonna get in trouble and that sort of thing? Not at our school. Black adults know what black children need, but black adults have to run the institutions where black children are, so we can give them what they need without worrying about if the boss is gonna come and say, "No, you can't teach that."
Right.
Freedom, ownership is protection.
Ownership is protection.
That's
like
real.
That. I like that.
Yeah.
Ownership is protection. Period. Yeah. So
if I could
interject,
the Uhuru
Academy is wet clay, man. Our school is wet clay. You know, our school is being molded. It's molded by the community. Every school should be wet clay. What do the community need? That's what the school need to teach.
Go ahead, Sunyata.
Yeah, no. I think it's important. Even on the note with even looking at private schools and homeschooling, right? I think it's also important for us to understand that these are emergency response. Is this what we're doing? Because ideally, as Africans, schools should be public. The problem is we don't control the public space, right? And so, as an emergency response, we go to private, right, and we go to homeschooling. But I think it's also important that as a people, and until or if you decide to repatriate, go somewhere else or whatever you have, that we also continue. And it's to your point, I think, Marifa, you've talked about this for many years. It's also important for us to press the state, right? Yeah. These schools, because we don't have the capacity, whether it's a independent African-centered school or homeschool, doesn't have the capacity to serve all of the children. So we got to still force the hands of the state to do its job and do its job correctly. So we can't ever give up that fight as we do what we need to do in the meantime. And so I think that was my fight with Crossroads being a charter school, was how far can I push the line using public dollars, right, to educate children in an African-centered way. And so I pushed it until they until they decided to push back, and I went to war with the state, and that's fine, right? So then my mind shifted to how do we create this public school that's cooperatively owned by the public, and how do we create that where teachers are part of a workers co-op and not just employees, right? How do we reshape the model even for a school in a public space, right? To meet the ends. And you got these you got Europeans who pulling secessions and creating their own school districts within districts, right? With their tax dollars, right? They said, well, we're gonna decide where our tax dollars go out, and they own school. So I think at the same time when we having that, and that's kind of why I kind of pulled out of that space, because here's what you do. You got the Baba Amin, you got the Sister Ebony's and African Star Academy, you got you got Brisbane, we got it. So but what we don't have, so I can always make referrals to those programs we do have, because we have them. We just need to support them. I always say that. We act like we don't have stuff that we got. No, we just not supporting in full what we do have, right? But what we don't have, right, is control of a jurisdiction, a public space, right? Where we're reallocating our tax dollars to do what to serve and to serve our people, benefit our people, and reduce harm. And that's what we have to always. And so I decided to shift and move into that space to try to get a model put together that we can get behind and say, this never again should somebody be able to come in and take something from us, because it's owned by the public, not some wealthy entrepreneurial individual. It's owned and controlled by the community it serves. And and so how do we do that? So I don't have all the answers by no stretch of the imagination. I got a lot of ideas, but I think we have to come together and create the answer, and to go back to the conversation about mindset with children, to add on to Baba Amin saying, the mindset I always try to bestow is with Amos and Wilson, the great ancestors, and our elder Marimbe Ani says that our culture, and we should be educated to meet the needs and solve the problems of our people. So yes, right, as Baba Amin said, that history is great. These obituaries, these great obituaries that I think the problem is sometimes we celebrate the ideas of kings and queens a little too much, and greatness too much, and you think about see, they had Emil Cabral, who was an architect, an agricultural man, like this great. Now he was a revolutionary theories, but what was his life like beyond responding to the needs and solving the problem of his people, right?
Mhm.
He was dealing with the food. He was dealing with the design, the architecture, human ecology. And so our children need to know that too, that's their task.
Right.
Their task is, and then I think that's the only real useful critical race theory is to put those things into context.
Absolutely.
Why are you doing these things? And why are they necessary in the context of what has happened, what continues to happen, and you have to now step in and meet the needs and solve the problems. Well, whatever it is you do, whether you dribbling the ball or engineering or growing food, you're doing it with the express intent, right? To free your people, to bring your people back into a sovereign space. But in the meantime, how do I resist hegemony and exploitation? How do I reject Eurocentric ways and concepts and ideas, even within myself? Like, so this is the mindset to understand that there's something in you didn't even know was in you, child, that we're gonna help push out of you.
Come on.
And then there's something else there that's naturally there and not indoctrinated there that we're gonna grow and develop. But once we do that, you now have the responsibility to carry the culture, and so that's the mindset I've always and will continue not only express it within children, but within all of us. Yeah.
Deep. Love it.
Now people are seeing why they special guests, man. This is knowledge that develops into power, and that's the key. You can have dreams and plans, if you don't have the power to execute, as a people, you're in trouble. And these are the things that get us into that place where we have power. Excellent points, Bob. I mean, did you want to add and build on what Sundiata was saying?
But my brother makes excellent observations, and part of what the future of education or the present of education of our children, in my opinion, needs to look like is identifying those spaces where we have power that we're not utilizing. Like we have to humble ourselves as the older generation and say, okay, here's some things like when brother mentioned annexing your community. Right, annexing your community into your own school district and redirecting your tax dollars into your own public school. That can be done. That's not illegal. Like there's a process, and that can be done. Right. But what are the steps? Like the mental steps. Number one, we have to find value in the community that we're talking about. Reestablishing strong education needs. Right. So you have to instill that value. You have to instill the win. What do we win when we do that? Because women, the message for the last 40 years been get out of here. The message for the last 40 years been get out the hood, get away from black folk as far as I can. So now you're trying to tell me that we going, wait a minute, mom, you don't even want to live over here. You don't want to even live around black people.
Yeah.
So if I was in a conversation earlier, and shout out to Dr. Mahat, what I'm saying? It's like, okay, when can we be black and when can we not be black? Because it seems like when we're talking about investing in self, you ain't supposed to be black then. No, invest in yourself. It's all about you. But then when the Democrats come knock on the door, if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black. Oh, now we black. Okay. So we have to take control of that narrative and identify those spaces and teach our children. Political science is very important, and teach our children. Here are areas where we would have power if we had the mentality and the mental fortitude to just use it and exercise it.
Come on. Does would you guys agree the type of confidence both of you are speaking with comes from a certain type of knowledge and education that you receive?
Absolutely. Knowledge and experience.
I think it can. I think it doesn't. It's not necessary, but I think it's vital.
What's not necessary?
So let me say this. It is necessary to get the information. Absolutely. But I don't necessarily pair the confidence to the knowledge piece. I think that it increases the likelihood of somebody having self-worth and self-confidence if they know said knowledge. But I think that confidence can be gained through, lived experience. I think if you are in a situation where you are getting wins based on your ability to execute, whether that execution comes by way of mathematics or science or writing or sports, or even as a child, having people in your village that you love and respect, and love and respect you, cheering you on, giving you those carrots and those sticks and combining them in a fashion to where they will propel a level of excellence in you. I think that you can build confidence in almost any human being.
Will it be a confidence that comes with building us as a people and advancing us as a people, or will it be just a confidence that's more for self?
So I would say both. It could be either or, and that's where the direction comes into play. Again, by no means, and hopefully I'm not being I don't want to say, I want to definitely say that the knowledge of our people, knowledge of self, knowledge of history, knowledge of what we need in terms of the now and the future, absolutely, definitely warrants it, right? My only point is that the confidence piece can come by way of that, or it can come before that. No matter which way it comes, to your point, we have to be steered in the direction of solving the problems that we need to be solving.
I think those collective behaviors are already there. Like we move as a unit, as a people already. It's just based on some of the miseducation that we deal with. Those moves that we make are not always sometimes they're self-destructive. They're against our own better judgment, but we go vote the same. We line up for Jordans together. We do a whole lot of shit together, man. I remember when I ain't tripping, Kelly, brother Kelly, but once the beards pop, then the beards pop. We doing beards now. You know what I'm saying? Like we are unified people, y'all. We are all culturally, we're a unified people. It's just the narrative that goes along with that, right? We've lost, the power of circulating that dollar, the importance of owning the institutions that you create, right? I mean, hip hop made us millionaires. We finally got a couple of billionaires, but white folks been making billions off of hip hop.
That's a fact,
right? You know what I'm saying? And so that cultural cohesion to go, you pull that story, that cultural cohesion going along with what we're already naturally doing. And it's like it's built into our cultural DNA. We just need to put the right narrative with that. And a lot of that stuff will take care of itself. Education is about, for us, it's not about telling the children, this is what you got to grow up and do. We're going to build an environment around you, feed you with the right type of information and love, and we're going to let you make the decision on where we go after. You're gonna do it naturally.
Sunyata,
if I can you hear me, Marifa?
Yep, you're not Teddy Riley yet. You good?
All right. So I want to put that question in the context of my personal life. So I grew up with a father who was I would say black centered. There was some African there, but more black centered, right? So I grew up reading, and I'm talking before I hit double digits, I'd already touched rest of the earth, right? But it was like a task. I read Native Son and Black Boy and I read the classics, but it was like a task, right? So even when I had confidence, but my confidence was placed where my wins were, and my wins came in the streets. Right? So I was confident as a black man, but I was confident in my ability to fight because I could box, right? All my wins, where my wins were. And so all of the information was good. And I knew more than all of my friends, right? My friends jokingly call my father Furious Styles, because that's who my father was in the neighborhood. But much like Trey, I didn't listen. Oh man, here you go again. So I had it all. But it wasn't until I was falsely accused and incarcerated with a 14-year sentence, and I had the full pressure of the state on me, right? And I was put in. So we talk about experiences, right? It wasn't until I met white America head on, right? It's like, oh snap, that now this had context. See, before they just give me information. Right. The information was there, but the information didn't have any context, because our parents' whole job is to pull us away and keep us safe from white America.
Right.
Right. So I didn't have to experience white America. I was in this incubator.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I kept pushing back due to my street activity and got caught up in the justice system and got to see, so when you ask about this energy that you see now, the energy and the fervor and all that you see now is because I met the enemy. I know the enemy. So and so now I'm fully charged at what must be done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because now all of the information has a mission, has a purpose, has a thing. It wasn't just, as Baba Amin said, just wasn't dates and names and, oh yeah, I read that book. Because y'all know brothers who got all the titles.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They got all the titles. Oh yeah, I got that too. Yeah. But it putting in the liquor, like when I say work, I ain't just talking about you visit street. I'm talking about whether it's study groups or create online universities or school, whatever it is, work. They doing none of that. They just show up. I got that too. Oh, read that too. And so I think what we have to be able to do with children, along with the information, because there's studies, research that says clearly when Black boys in particular have a knowledge of their culture, that level of self-worth and value goes up, and they even improve academically to some degree. But it has a plateau. It has a place. But if you really, because you think about Malcolm grew up a Garveyite.
Yeah.
We act like Malcolm arrived in prison at the Nation, right?
Yeah.
Malcolm grew up with Garveyite parents, the smartest
seed
kid in
was
his
planted.
class. His world was rocked, and it wasn't until he had the full weight of the state and time, right, to contextualize all this. Now it awakens that the Nation comes and a vehicle for Malcolm to move through. What was birthed, and we got Omawali from that. So I think it is the knowledge, but it's the experience and it's the understanding of what you must do with this, and the full story.
Right. The context. That's the point I was going to hit on. Taking the information and now directing it, contextualizing, like you said, so that you can understand the world around you and take proper steps to create the thing you want to create. And I think that's
I'm the dude on the block with a book, literally.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got it. I'm reading. I'm on the block. Everybody selling crack around me. I'm on the block hanging out with either a gun on me or a shotgun in the pine needles right behind me. But I got the book. I know the information.
Yeah.
Not an applied science though.
Where you from, Sundiata?
Yeah.
Go ahead, V.
Where you from, Sundiata? Where you from?
That was it. I just.
Can you hit Sundiata? Can you hit V?
No, I didn't hear B. What did he say?
He was asking where you from.
Oh, I was raised here in Charlotte, between Charlotte and Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Okay.
My school time here in Charlotte, and all my summers and early falls in Goldsboro, North Carolina.
You have a northern vibe about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I don't know where that comes from. Yeah. I'm dirt roads, grew up swimming in creeks and rock quarries.
Yeah.
Hey man, you messing up my shot at getting into the Gullah Geechee Nation, man. I'm trying to get in.
You say northern vibe.
Northern vibe.
I want to go is Baltimore. They got that other accent I want. Baltimore, New Orleans, and Chucktown. I take any of them getting doctor.
Any one of those three, huh?
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, I think y'all hit a key word. Like I said, was context, and the ability to direct the type of education experience that you have, in order to contextualize. And I think that's Vig. I think in my question, that was the thing I was getting at, when I mentioned the two words, education and confidence. If it's not in the context of what we're dealing with as a people, there won't be an applied science like Sundiata was talking about. And I know one of the things that we struggle with as a people, why I have the headline on the bottom says how the right education creates power. If we can contextualize our education, direct it, focus it towards what we're dealing with, such as frustration, which Dr. Amos Wilson, let me get this book. Let me show you the book because it's fine. So this book right here, which I recommend everybody read. Can y'all see that? Yep. Everybody read. It's not going to be anything that's going to be super enlightening in terms of like telling you things you didn't really know or could vibe. You know, we're a feel people, so we can feel what's happening to us. He's just gonna put some words to it and introduce some of the things that we're dealing with. And education and confidence can destroy some of these things, like apathy, for instance. Apathy is that thing I notice that most colonized people deal with, where you don't have ambition anymore. You don't have drive. You don't believe that you can take certain steps and the system respond in a way that's positive towards you, right? Because we live in a system where it's anti-black, it's anti-us, and so when you're dealing with that, a different type of weight on you, people tend to check out. You know, the effort isn't there. And then what this society will do, which is very effective for colonizing groups, is they'll label that as lazy. And it's important that they label it as lazy, so it gives the indication, or gives the idea that you're choosing not to do anything. Right. That there's no system against you. There's nothing opposing what you're trying to do. You're just a person that don't want to do nothing with yourself. Right? There's no one attacking you. You see what I'm saying? And so to label being uninspired as lazy takes the onus and responsibility and the finger off of them.
Absolutely.
And now we're dealing with just, you see what I'm saying? But there's a certain type of education that you can get.
So much.
Right.
Say it again.
That's with so much. That's even with the idea of poverty, right? This idea that we're poor.
All that's part of it.
We got
all that's part of it.
Habits, and we just mismanage them, and we're not financially literate. That's not why we're poor. Now that doesn't mean don't become financially literate. That doesn't mean don't, budget, but don't reduce poverty to, you ain't handling your business right. So that goes so many ways. You're right, and that's why I say that critical race theory is important in that context, because it puts it all into the right perspective. This just didn't happen in the vacuum. This just ain't happening because this is a systematic approach to slowly genociding a group of people off the planet, right? And so
it's a system that completely depends, and it completely depends on your buy-in in order to survive.
Yeah.
It completely depends on your buy-in to those definitions in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? So building institutions that redefine that, or empower you to redefine those definitions, that's key, you know what I'm saying? And just watching, like I've been an independent educator for 30 years, and my first classroom was in the projects. I was 18 years old, and I'm still in touch with my first students, from the 91. Oh my gosh. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And to watch how some of them didn't necessarily grow up to become activists or anything like that. Some still got perms and color in their hair, all that kind of stuff. But like the brothers stay married, raise their children. One of them did it as a crip, but he wasn't gonna leave his wife and his kids. You know what I'm saying? Like he grabbed some of it. I met with one sister who she's the first generation of her family that she knows that doesn't live in the projects. Just broke that cycle. Now her daughter is in college, and her son is in college. And she'll say she attributes getting that confidence from being a part of rites of passage programs where she learned about the culture. She still got straight hair and all that, but she'll take her on. Y'all came through here when we was doing rites of passage, taught me about the kings and queens.
Go ahead,
do this and this. And so you take those victories, right? And you understand that this is a generation. It took generations to get us here. It's going to take generations to get us out, right? But the key is to commit to the journey and enjoy the journey, and so, I just want to throw that, out there,
Absolutely,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it fits.
From my experience, it don't hit everybody the same way. Right. It hit them though.
Right.
And sometimes, like Sundiata say, when he got the pressure of the state on him, he had tools, he had internal tools that other brothers in similar situations didn't have. And from listening to Sundiata, those tools, he was able to call on those tools at the right moment. You know what I'm saying? And to carry himself through, and not only carry himself through, come out on the other end on an even greater mission.
Right.
But that seed had been planted years ago. That initial seed, just like Malcolm.
just like Malcolm Little than Malcolm X. And you know, that's that contextualization is so big. Like I said, it helps to destroy these kind of characteristics that they say we suffer from, like the apathy, like the feelings of powerlessness. And I'm talking about men now, Black men. When we deal with that powerlessness and that helplessness and homelessness, there's a right education that you can get that cures and eliminates all of that. Again, going back to what I previously was saying a while back, with it changes the trajectory. Baba, I mean, you were talking about that word transformation. I have the Adinkra symbol for transformation right above over here. But yeah, it just changes things. There you go. There it is right there. And power just starts, right? It caused me to change my own name. I didn't want to be called that anymore. I started to understand and see myself in my correct light. And then when I did that, everything just changed. And I think if everyone could tap in and you know what I'm saying, get that right education, things 100% can change. The environment that we think is unresponsive, discriminatory, and punishable can be overcome. And we can actually manifest what we need to manifest. We can actually achieve the dreams that we put out there, develop a plan, right, Baba, I mean, and achieve. But I'm noticing if we don't address that, the apathy, if we don't address the brother who checks out, right, the kind of psychology that causes us not even to fight or to assimilate, not even to develop our own stuff. Ownership is protection, you said. If we don't have that mindset to own and to build our own, right? DeMarco's saying desire in the comments, and that's accurate. I think the Spanish word is ganas, and I just bring that up because I saw a movie called Stand and Deliver. And one of the main things that he helped students transition and learn correctly, he said if you have the ganas, the desire, you can do anything. And I think that's one thing they focus on and spend a lot of time and money, is to have Black people in a demoralized, negative type of mindset. But we think if we take these particular steps, it won't work. The system isn't going to respond. The environment isn't going to respond. And so there's no point. And we just check on it. See what I'm saying?
Let me ask this then. So I think that happens on many levels, though. I think we can't understand the idea that brother tapping out or assimilating in or whatever it is, because even in this struggle we all in, right? As a people, I got levels that I met that I know other brothers who are conscientious, African-centered, right? And they still engage in activities and behaviors and that I don't, for me, I'm like, come on, bro, for real, you rooted, you understand how you still, right? So I think we do understand it's about where we have to look at ourselves, right? The level of sacrifices that some of our ancestors made, that we pour libation to, some of us have yet been willing to make, right? So we find out, we even in our own contradictions find out, my partner Ty here say, I'm still trying to wean myself off of Walmart, right? that I want to resist Amazon bringing a package sometimes the same day. And I know it's the machine, right? Yeah. I know it's the machine. And I want to resist that. I applaud the brother who changed his name, he got rid of all the European holidays, and don't use Amazon. So I think we can't understand those brothers on all levels when we truly when we honest with ourselves about our own contradictions, because they come from the same place.
It depends on what the contradiction is. Let's talk about that Amazon point. It kind of, again, it's context, because while we're building our own resource center, that's all Amazon is, just a bunch of resources that you can get, and you trade that for money, and they take the profits and do what they do. While we're building our own response system to that, you can use the enemy's tools to your advantage. Art of War talks about one of the best things you can do is use their resources first before you take use of your own. In this case, it's more not necessarily a resource in the sense of we kind of want to generate that on our own, but if we can use that, leverage it to our type of advantage and use it within a whole plan, it's cool. So it kind of depends on what the how we have to kind of deep dive into the contradictions so we don't self-check ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not that simple. But what I'm saying is, one time I was brought in to do a presentation, a training on why adolescents are so violent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people sitting there thought that I was going to talk about adolescent violence, right?
Mm-hmm.
I started talking about why grown people violent, because the same reason, right? Adolescents are violent. The same reason grown people. They're the adolescents who didn't learn their lessons. So if you understand what triggers you to violence,
Right.
you also. Right. So I'm only putting it in that context, right? What makes you have that moment of comfort, even in this revolution? You know what I'm saying? This effort towards revolution. We all seek a moment of, yeah, I know this ain't the best thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I need a moment, right? And so what motivates that is just on another level. You know, we tired, and we don't think it's a win. I think it's as simple as that. Like, I talk to brothers,
that's part of it,
who are revolutionary minded, can't see they can't see the win, right? And so they it's like that scene in the Matrix, brothers. Let me listen. When you send me back in, I don't want to remember nothing. Right? I don't see a win, so I might as well tap back in. Everybody else making money, they ain't nobody really trying to get it, so I might as well jump on, get me a couple coins too. And we see it even in the revolutionary at times, right? So I'm just saying, I think if we start to understand some of our own contradictions, it at least make us more compassionate.
I think
sometimes
we got to.
Are we coming across non-compassionate right now? Is that why we're
talking? No, not right now. I'm just saying, you've seen it. You've seen it. We Billy Club folks. You know, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying we in a general sense, right? We get sometimes our passion for something. Let me just speak for me. Sometimes my passion for what I know to be true overrides my sensibility towards people, right? And I forget that even though it might have been 30 plus years ago, I was there. In that moment, I forget I was there. And I know brothers who ain't been a year two removed from, you know, all the other contradictions, read a couple books, watched a couple lectures, jumped on board, right? And they beating up folks online about their contradictions. And you just had that same contradiction last week.
Well, the best way to hide your contradiction is to highlight somebody else.
You say what, brother?
That's a fact.
I say the best way to hide your contradiction is to highlight somebody else.
Yeah,
you know, they've been lately on social media, they've been doing this little red flag challenge thing. That's a red flag for me. The critics are hiding something. Yeah, like you got, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I used to have fun, man. I used to have fun with this thing, especially when I got into the RBG movement and got into, you know, what we're really the whole time been. I used to love to bring Black people to conscious events to look at the face of conscious people, right? Because you think you walk into a white cotillion or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You think because, you know what I'm saying? Who brought the niggas in here? Who brought niggas to this shit? You know what I'm saying? I always bring the niggas. Here come niggas. We come. Niggas is coming. You know, the people are coming. You know, because just because you have contradictions don't mean you can't make contributions.
Come on.
And that's the whole thing. And so my training was always to find the contribution in the midst of the contradictions. What little bit can you do as you develop? And maybe if you get a couple of W's doing this small thing, it'll convict and compel you to work on your contradictions, because then you'll see clearly, okay, that's what I want to do. But while I'm drinking every day, I can't get there.
Right.
But I can taste it because just drinking every day, I did this. But man, now I see that it's another level to it. But now I have to face the fact that while I have this particular contradiction, I can't get there. And that's and you know, because there are levels I'm trying to get to as a businessman, as an activist, or whatever, that there are contradictions I have to deal with in order to get me there, in order to develop the discipline to get us there, to take it to the next level, you know. But within the midst of your contradiction, you can still make contribution.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I think that's the power of network and of being within a group. You know, there's going to always be varying degrees of consciousness, varying degrees of skill sets, varying degrees of where you are in this search. And then even inside of that, everybody has something else to bring to the table. So, you know, when we kind of joke about the idea of people who are relatively new to consciousness being the ones who go super hard and use their newfound books as bludgeons. But I would even say there's a lesson or something powerful in that, because they are typically the motor. You know, many times people who've been in the game for a very long time, they may have it up here, but they may have lost the motor. They may have the steering wheel and know exactly what direction to go into, but the motor may be a little bit waning. Whereas those on the other side of the spectrum, those are relatively new to the movement, their motors are high, but the direction may be a little bit off. So we need to, you know, be in the same spaces, and hopefully just through osmosis, we can gain some of those things that each other are lacking. And then through spoken word and through action, we can start to transfer a lot of these skills and opportunities to each other. You know what I mean? So again, you know, to everybody's point, there's just supreme power in being transparent with your brothers and sisters, but also allowing yourself to give and you know, share skills and experiences.
Especially when you find comrades that are weak, that are strong where you may be lacking.
Absolutely.
And vice versa. And, and you know what I'm saying, and holding each other accountable and pulling each other up. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even express the amount of times where I've you know, been so, especially as a youth, where you're somewhere and you know people are hustling, people are doing what they're doing, and then someone older comes in because they know how things look. Hey, shorty, get out of here. And then the minute you leave, you up in the crib and you look down, you know, and either something gets shot up or cops are coming. So this, you know, and this can be attributed to anything, whether it's the workplace, whether it's family functions, whether it's the streets, whether it's sports, whether it's, you know, school, you know, just the presence of elders, the presence of the young, the presence of the wise, the presence of the skilled, and then the transferring of all those skills, man. Like, you know, I can't, it's just, we are so blessed. And then to think that we've been on the planet for the longest period of time, and we've seen the highest highs and the lowest lows in human history. That affords us with extra opportunity to really share, you know, the knowledge of the soil, the knowledge of the wind, the knowledge of the, you know, water, the lot. Like we have so much to offer. You know, I have on the TV right now, and even that is a distraction. You know what I'm saying?
What you got?
The basketball game is on, but inside of that distraction,
see that?
Go ahead. No. I'm just saying, like,
I'm messing with you.
But even in that quote unquote flaw, you can also use that as opportunity. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things you can learn or gather from, you know, sports. So
you about to give us a basketball analogy, V? You about to set it up? I'm messing with you.
Nah, not so good.
Yeah, I got you though.
I think Bob, I mean, answer the question. I guess expressed it better than I was able to. Right? It's recognizing when you talked about the brother who, you know, taps out, buys in. He needs a win. So going back to how we started this conversation with the young man and not making the basketball team, right? He gets discouraged. He wants to give up. Why does he want to? Because he needs a win, right? And I think that at recognizing that is what I was trying to make. That in our moment, we got, oh shit, this brother need a win. Because if I was in that same space, that's what I would need, right? And then how do I help him see a win that pulls him out of that space of apathy, or I just might as well just give up and give in. How can I put him in a position to get a win on this side? Because that's challenging to see sometimes, right? All we, you know, I remember when we was at African Liberation Media did the show together, Marifa.
Yes, sir.
And you said something, and the whole room went crazy. You say, oh, "I believe we are winning," and everybody went, even me. I was, whoa, how are we winning? Right?
Context.
So
Context.
Capacity to see, right? This point, this whatever, how we winning, right? And I still challenge with that. So I'm not here to say I still agree with you, right?
We ain't in physical change, right? That's progress.
It's hard. It's hard.
Hey,
to
we
see,
beat that,
right? But
that
we
was supposed to be forever. We beat that,
so that we can keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I was just elaborating on the progress. You know, the winning part. Like we were supposed to be in physical change forever, and our ancestors beat that. So that's progress. So we're turning the tide. It's gonna take some generations, like Baba Amin was talking about, but we on the way up, right? We ain't as low as we were.
Yeah,
we are not.
As Baruch says, you know, he measures it by how far he's moved away from being European, and as long as there's one African on this, we winning. That's Baruch's Baruch's measuring stick. So we all got, you know, I'm just a little hard on it, but it's important, right? Even in your personal space to see whether it's your own collective circle, right? How y'all move further away. And so me and my brother Kwasi and some other folks working on what are these African family imperatives? What are these things that we can do, right? Name change that you mentioned earlier, right? Change your name.
That's
choose
important.
An African name.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to even know where you from in Africa. And if you ain't ready to choose an African name yet, choose an African nickname. Just have if you can have people call you Junebug, you can call it right? So I'm just saying, like, you can move further away, and that's a win.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And my whole point, Kelly, I'm gonna let you go when I say this. My whole point of bringing up the education is just to talk about how it positions us to generate power, and power is what we need, you know, and just speaking to what the colonizing system does puts us in a situation where, especially us black men, are apathetic. You know, like I said, that's that checkout mindset. So this is just pointing out the value in the education that Baba Amin and Sundiata, what y'all used to bring to those institutions. Those things break all that up. So just kind of presenting a solution, part of a solution to that, because a lot of the audience sometimes doesn't see the difference between public education and the knowledge that's taught there versus what we're talking about from a Pan-African perspective. So kind of bridging the gap between education and solving this problem that you see in your young people and you see in adults. Like, again, with that checkout mentality, what can we do to fix that, to speak to that? We have the answers here and the solution here. And we all know, like KRS-One says, a leader solves problems, period. So that can definitely go a long way into solving that problem. That's why I brought that up. Go ahead, Kelly. What you want to jump in with?
No, Sundiata kind of hit on it, but when you was talking about the we're not in physical change anymore.
Come on.
I'm always from that thought process that sometimes that's just as much damaging because so many people are in mental bondage and they can't see the forest because they're in the weeds.
But that's still not as bad as being in the situation we were in, though.
No. I'm just meaning from a mental perspective. Like, for instance.
But you said it was the same.
No. I'm not saying it's the same. What I'm saying, it for some of us, it's just as much as a barrier. And so what I mean by that is this. Like, when we are not accountable, which everyone in here is, right, to making sure that we hold our brothers accountable, particularly Vig was talking about it earlier. When I first come into enlightenment, I choose to be so enlightened that I cause more distraction and I cause more damage to the culture than I do when I'm paired with an elder who not only has the knowledge, but see the difference between an elder is that he has the wisdom, right? Like, so as Sundiata was talking, and he was talking about the fact that, hold up, wait a minute. Like, one of the things we do, we forget that we mirror and project, right? Our own inefficacy and our own thoughts that have prohibited us in the past. And sometimes some of us don't want to go back down that path. And so we push it on to our young people, when in actuality, they come with the same ferocity and the same vigor that we once had. And if we just sit down and listen to them, not talk at them. And that's what too many of us do. When we listen to our young people and we're able to just hear them, then we can help them with that critical thought process. And thus, the most revolutionary thing we can do is do our part in our individual community, which then transfers out into our individual neighborhoods, and then we can take our cities back. But too many cats are so focused on wanting to project what they know instead of just holding back and leveraging the intellectual capacity of the collective, not just me. I just want to show I know everything. No, I don't know everything. No, but what I do is I got V, I got Baba Amin, I got Brother Marifa. And so this circular bond helps us to be able to allow them that they are accountable to the collective and not just to myself. So I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying there's a lot of brothers who are so-called liberated, but they're not liberated because they still stuck in another space.
Yeah, and I think.
One second, Sundiata, 1 second, because I want to address something because y'all are starting to piss me the hell off. So let me just talk for a second here. Quasi just made his comment. Mashiko, I see your comment. Let me say one, I don't understand how a conversation about the right education creates power for black folk, and we're talking this, and somehow we've gone into this, it feels like this negative, what are problems, just not solution based, but just more like when we start talking victory, it's like, well, no, brother, we can't talk like that. We got to talk about our issues and how we're losing and all this other kind of stuff. It tends to go into that. V, you might not have got that, but let me just talk. Yeah. So my Shikwa says, when Kelly made the point about the mental change, just saying it came across as being equal to the physical part, and then Quasi saying we didn't beat enslavement, only Haiti did. See, this to me is a problem because first of all, the conditions we were in from, let's say, when it was up at its peak, let's say 1600 to 1885, if we want to just use that time period. Those conditions are nowhere near what we live in today. Not even close. There's not rape. We're not on. Those are concentration camps. We're being raped. All of us, men, women. You're separated from your family. We're being eaten by alligators. We're fed to alligators. We're walking across the United States with coffles, with our neck chained up. I mean, the conditions are unreal on top of the mental aspect, right? It's all of that. And so for us to wage war, not only in Haiti, but also in Jamaica, Virgin Islands, all over the African continent, the Seminoles here, who, by the way, the Seminoles defeated the U.S. Army and President, I think it was Andrew Jackson at the time and all of that, to the point where they yielded to those people and said, we'll give you land in Missouri and did all that. But there were so many different battles all across the world where black people were putting pressure all over the system that was colonizing and enslaving them, to the point to where white people now said it's no longer expedient or profitable, right, to maintain this type of institution. We have to switch to something else. We can no longer hold them in physical chains. This is a fact. And all over the place, you start seeing people saying, you know what, no more enslavement. We can't do this anymore. We even won over the people, white people who were originally for us. They jumped to our side. Same way Vietnam did when the United States was attacking Vietnam. Vietnam didn't win any battles, but they kept coming. They wouldn't give up. They kept fighting. And the American people said, why are we even doing this? What are we? And they turned. Like George Jackson talked about using the morale of the people against them. You see what I'm saying? But to sit there and suggest that and keep minimizing our victories and what we've done to keep us in this loser mentality, that's what I'm getting from this. Come on, family. We've done too much. We can't disrespect what the ancestors did. We got to see the progress. The art of war says once you lose your morale, you won't even fight. If you don't believe you can win. If we keep backtracking, talking about, nope, we talk about progress. Actually, nah, it's the same thing. We haven't advanced. We haven't gone forward. If we keep tripping our own selves up, how are we going to move forward? This mentality that I'm hearing, I can't mix with that. That's not good. That's not the formula for me to get the victory. We have to, if we acknowledge our ancestors in a way where we have PTSD from their enslavement, also acknowledge how they rose up and beat them. That's in your blood too.
Right.
Same way we're talking about the DNA. You see what I'm saying? Let's understand the full spectrum here and not keep self-defeating, because that's what I'm getting. I'm getting self-defeat. We start talking about solutions, but remember, we do this wrong and we do this wrong, and we never really won this battle. And they just reverse the issue. Come on, family, don't do that. Get the full context and understand the progress. It's going to take maybe another 200, 300 years, but we moving. We move it. If you don't grab onto that, we're going to continue to stay in a loser mentality. So that's my whole little spiel. Apologies if I got a little too loud and all that, but it just, I was just hearing a little too much, and I'm seeing people in the comments, and I'm like, yo, family, come on now.
Building platforms so we can even acknowledge what the issues are is progress.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm an educator. So as an educator or a coach, we coach to victory. We don't coach to coping. We don't coach that. We coach to victory. Now, part of that victory or achieving that victory may involve sacrifice.
Right.
It does involve identifying obstacles, but not identifying obstacles to cause you to sit down, but identify obstacles because we're planning on how to destroy those obstacles.
Exactly.
Hello. And I think that Kelly, to be fair, that's where Kelly was. That's exactly where Kelly was.
That's why I would say what I thought I heard Kelly was saying was it, and I could be wrong, but it was easier to motivate our people to fight in enslavement, right, than it is under these conditions, because it was so overt, it was so everyday, right? The motivation was kind of there. That's what I missed.
I think to Marika's point, though, I mean, I think that it is a very true and real statement that we are in a better place now. I think we should probably, we can acknowledge the nuances, but can we go around like a show of hands? Who here thinks that Black people right now, Africans right now, are in a better place today in this country than we were 250 years ago?
That we are in a better place?
Yes, right now.
Easily.
I would have to say yes to that statement.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying?
In this country,
your mother isn't being raped. Now your wife isn't being raped, right? You're not separated from your family as we speak. You're not denied access to work and make a living for yourself, own land and do things. You're not none of that.
Yeah.
You're not none of that.
Yeah.
And you got to give respect to what the people who you said sacrifice. That's what they did. They poisoned slave owners. They kept revolting. They kept. You know what I'm saying? They killing, you know what I'm saying? They put in work for us to be here to keep. You understand? So I don't want to, listen, I can't tolerate no type of, talk where we didn't make progress. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I can't. Nah, we ain't doing that. I took an oath.
Finessing them too.
I took an oath, man. We ain't doing that.
Our ancestors was finessing them too, man. You know what I'm saying? Even those you see standing next to the crack, they was finessing them white folks, man. They wasn't. They might be praying to Jesus and all that. They was finessing, man. They was finessing.
Come on, I got a whole encyclopedia set of every revolt. I mean, listen, we put in work to get to this position. Are we done yet? Not even close, right? We still got to self-determine. There's Kujichagulia principles we haven't tapped into yet. There's a lot of work to be done. At the same time, let's understand how far we've come, though. Because you can use those. Remember we said wins? The young man got cut from the team. He needs wins. You look at your ancestors and say, look at these wins. Look what Haiti did. Look what Jamaica did. Look what Queen Nzinga did. Look at the Patrice Lumumba did, right? These are wins. These are wins. You can build on that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't no losers, man. Nah, listen to me. I can't. Go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead.
So let me say this. When you talk warfare, we can go back to Imhotep. We can talk about Queen Nzinga, like you said. We can talk about the people on the battleground right here in our neighborhoods. We got warriors, young warriors, and we got elder warriors who are working in isolation now, who didn't have that opportunity prior to. So no question are we in a space where we can do the things we need to do. My only, well, not my only point, a big part of this is people got to understand warfare too. And so in warfare, the distraction is your greatest asset along with the high ground. Brother Marifa, you know, what was it? A couple weeks ago, we was talking, we was meeting, and we was discussing, okay, if we get into certain positions, we need to keep the right hand separate from the left hand, because if we don't, then we just gave our whole battle plan away. And too many people, and this is what I was kind of focusing on, sometimes some of us have not gotten to a place where we understand that we might compromise a battle to win 3 wars. And it's all about the battle plan, the strategy, the tactics. And then, to your point, celebrating our victories. And too often, again, we're going to have people who are fierce warriors, but sometimes we got to know who's in it for the collective or who's in it for their victory, but not the collective victory of the village. So, like,
and you only do that by trial and error.
Say again.
And you only do that by coming together, trial and error. You know,
right. Indeed, indeed.
Sudiata can attest to that with the RBG movement. When that collective came together, you know what I'm saying? You don't know in the beginning where people's sincerity is. But boy, when you put food on people's plate, you can see who's gonna eat.
Indeed, and when the first bullet fires,
yeah,
you know who on the battlefield with you too.
Yeah, you know. But then what happens when you see, oh, that person wasn't real, oh, that person, those who are sincere, it's too much fallback after that. See, people ain't ready. No, it was 50 of y'all that was ready. Y'all need to stay together.
Right.
And let the other ones fall away. But we get triggered by the black inferiority complex that we bring into the situation. That says, as soon as we see some black behavior, we head for the hills. Soon as we see some inferior black behavior, we head for the hills. We take our black power ball and we go home. And I don't want to play no more. Sudiata ate pork. I don't want to play no more.
So the
Swan eaters.
Yeah. But we came together for the people.
Vanguards for.
Yeah, we came together for the people. But Sudiata wanted to charge $10 to get in the event. I think we should have charged $15. I knew that nigga wasn't down for the call.
Yeah, see that type of immaturity, that gotcha type mentality, the gossip and the he ain't the black person he's supposed to be.
That with you, right?
That's that trivial. And see, the right education to me fixes that. The right context to understand the bigger picture, and not to be self-righteous and self-defeating and all of that.
And but the other thing to that is too, just by virtue of me seeing Brother Marifa, Baba Amin, Brother Sundiata, and Brother V on the battlefield, like I'm going to feel their energy. And so epigenetics alone, I might lose 4, but I got 46. So like just that in itself is enough. When I got bullet hole going through my body, I'm still going to keep pushing because I know I got to cover Brother Sundiata's back and he's covering Brother Baba Amin's front. So we lose something in the struggle, but it's about the masses because it's about the collective victory.
I think another thing to add, and again, I think we're all basically on the same page, obviously, but I think not, warriors who have something to come home to end up fighting hard to get home. And, when it comes to family and just having something to fight for, like having a unified goal between those who are on the battlefield, great, because that will help you strategically. But in terms of that extra layer, the extra thing that makes you go even harder to either stay alive or to do what you got to do to come home, that is what gets, I think, us to victory. We look at other cultures and, for instance, let's say wars in Afghanistan, part of the reason that they are so successful on their type of war is that they have a unified goal beyond the family. In their mind, you know, they're fighting for a unified principle, which in their case is religion. And I'm not advocating for us to be quote unquote religious, but we have to find those things that we hold near and hold true and cling to that outside of what the battle plan is, outside of what the goals and objectives are. And I think the unfortunate thing, which is something that we can win through hard work and dedication, is that we've been muddled into a position based on economics and based on incarceration that many times the men don't have a home to go to in terms of a woman who's qualified and their kids who they are in their life on a consistent basis. So again, I'm not listing these things as a means to quit. I'm simply saying that these are things that we have to work through. And once we work through some of those issues on the inside of ourselves and in the inside of our households, they will give us one more thing to fight extra hard to in order to win the battle and come home.
If I can, I want to interject something I think is important for me, even just personally, to express is we don't have to agree on that point, right? And again, I'm not totally sure where I am with that point, so I raise my hand to disagree. But I want to say we don't have to agree on that point because I'm speaking directly to you, Brother Reefer, because I know where you at and I know what you fight for, and we're on the same team, right? So that's not going to change that dynamic, whether we agree on that point. And I think too many times throughout our struggles, not saying you and I, but just period, we take off away from each other too quick about disagreements, right? And we can't take off from each other that easily. We got to be willing to struggle together. It's just like when they asked Kobe about winning game 2, being up 2 games in the chat, and Kobe gave him that look like, yeah, but we ain't win that chip yet. You know what I'm saying? Where the commentator and his team may have been celebrating that being up 2 games. Kobe just had a different mentality. Doesn't mean he wasn't for the team. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that he didn't think that counted. And so I know I just approach it from that perspective, like I want that chip so bad, right? I see it, I recognize it. And anybody who knows me know where I stand with ancestor veneration and like that's major for me. But my main point is one of the conversations I would love to just have, whether it's on or offline, is how do we get past some of these small nuanced differences between each other that causes us to lose sight of the big picture of working collectively together. We have to learn from what our ancestors went through, that if somehow the Panthers could have found some alignment with cultural nationalists, you know what I'm saying, brought political education and culture together, but we have that hindsight now, right? We shouldn't be falling for some of the same things that splintered a lot of our movement. So I don't ever want, and I'm just saying that, I don't ever want you to believe, and that's why I said it to you personally, or anyone on here to believe that at any moment that we may have disagreement, right, on a particular point, in no way does that mean that I got your 6 or whatever on the military. You need me to have your 3, your 6, your 12, or whatever it is. I got you.
Yeah, I'm
part of it is painting a picture.
1 second, Bob. I mean, let me just respond and say that in no way, shape, or form was that whole 10-15 minute of great debate conversation going to factor into me working with or not working with Brother Sundiata or anybody else. I mean, I grew up in a debate environment where you disagree all the time. I'm 43 years old. Blessed to see 43 rotations around this sun. And so I'm well seasoned in disagreement and not seeing things completely. Me and Kelly don't agree on everything. We work fine, everybody, so I hope no one's going to take that. Because to me, it wasn't even a major disagreement. It was just, we tend to undermine ourselves when we start talking about power moves and and victory, we tend to start talking in a way that undermines us and puts us back in the place that we're trying to get out of. That's something I've seen for the last 7 years. So I want to speak to that, and I'm going to speak aggressively because that's how I'm feeling it, and that's how I wanted to communicate it. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to allow that to stop us from working together. Anyway, I know how you roll, Sundiata, all day long. As a matter of fact, for anyone who doesn't know, he is 100% dedicated to the fight way before I ever was. So anyone who's not familiar with him, understand this is a big brother in our community, who puts in work and is an example. So just for anyone who isn't familiar with Sundiata's work. So yeah, that ain't gonna. You know, I mean, I hope people y'all know how I roll. That ain't gonna stop me. I mean,
yeah, I just used that. I didn't think that. I just used that moment to speak to what I see as a larger issue than I would. You know, you said brothers go back. Oh, that brother, he ain't really serious about the and we blacker than now, and we do have to move.
What'd you say this now? Say it again, yeah. We blacker than what?
We blacker than now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blacker than now. My blackness supersedes your blackness.
Come on, come on.
And we all shooting the same fade together. We all got on. I'm safe to say, those who I know, we all got on the same jersey.
Come on.
And so yeah, it's like the neighborhood. You know, I done fought almost all my childhood friends at least once, but let somebody come from the other side of that creek.
Right.
We could have just got done fighting.
Right.
We loved up, and I just want that. I want that same spirit to run, especially here in Charlotte, right?
Right.
I want that same spirit to run, that when we really see each other, and that we generally really not just pump faking about. You know, we'll see each other like, oh, bro, we got to get together. We got to know. So that's part of the reason why I even reached out to you. I was like, nah, man, listen. There's no need of me always trying to create something different. How do I lend myself to what other people are doing? So I'm out with Brother Bernard at the farm. You know what I'm saying? I'm extending, you know, my experience and whatever I've gleaned over my years to whatever other people are doing. And I think we do have to get out of that, seeing each other, dapping each other up. We got to get together, bro. We got to do some work. And then we, you know, and you know my position on Kwanzaa. I think we get together every year and lie to each other. So I'm gonna make my way back out there. But I just think we get together and we run through this thing, and then we say, may we come back next year, greater numbers and great, you know what I mean?
Man.
And then we walk away on January 2nd, and none of that's happening.
None of that's happened. Even this one coming up soon, I'm like, yo, did we accomplish anything that we talked about, we dedicated ourselves to during this week? What we doing? Yeah, man. I feel you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Baruti, who was making a comment. I appreciate you. The great teacher. Yeah, man. Yeah. And anytime, Dr. Baruti, you want to come on and say anything, share some knowledge, you just let me know, inbox me. I will send you the link immediately and give you the floor. Appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in and watching. Habibi Fahodiet. Yeah.
We win it.
We win it.
We just won. Count that.
We just won. See?
Come on, man. That's a victory right there.
Yeah. We doing something right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I appreciate you, brother, sharing more perspective. And this is a conversation I want to continue. Brother Sundiata and Baba Amin, more perspective that we understand to the audience that watches, because most of the audience that watches on this particular channel is not necessarily of the conscious persuasion, is how I would describe it. So us sharing different perspectives from the knowledge that we've gained and our cultural perspective really helps give the alternative, because people are searching for the alternative. What do I do in response to what I'm seeing? How should I move? What's the black way of doing things, and what's the how and why, et cetera, et cetera. So, Baba Amin, when you were explaining from an educational standpoint what Uhuru Academy does versus what public education does, it becomes clear, and now there's a value that can be attached to what you do. and people watching will say, I want my son or daughter to experience that.
Absolutely.
Because I can see how that's going to change the trajectory of his or her life and put them in a better position to win as Black people in this country or wherever we're going to go. So it brings value to that. So that's why I kind of posed the questions in the way I did so that you can do what you do.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, if I could share my screen, I can show you, but I can tell you, man, I got a short clip that my students put together.
Okay. And, can you share it? Can you see the share button on there?
I see the share button right here.
Do it.
Now I just gotta find the dang thing. Hold on, let me do this first. Let me go to my drive. You know what I'm saying? And you can hear it straight from their mouth. It's just a short clip, man. They helped me today. We applied for a Black business grant that's out there, and you know, they was like, you know, let's put together a little deal, a little promotional video, you know, because they asked for it. And so the babies helped me today, and I hope I uploaded it. Hold up. I hope
so we're gonna go ahead and say congratulations already because you got it, brother.
Give thanks, man. Give thanks. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks. We ain't scared to ask for no money.
Watch out. and use it to our advantage. Talk to
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, use the enemy's resources, man, as your own.
Enemy's resources.
It's actually from a Black-owned business that's taking the initiative.
Oh, word respect.
And famous Amos Cookies.
Okay.
They're giving away $150,000, split it up between 3 businesses. Let me see. And did I get the right password? And Koyo, I need the password.
And I'm texting Greg now. He was having some issues getting on.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about the Stop the Violence movement that's going on. So I'm hoping he can be able to join us so we can finish this out on that Stop the Violence note, because there's some events we have coming up. Matter of fact, next weekend, while Baba Ami is getting that together, next weekend, we have a workshop that we're presenting. I'll be leading the lecture on, not even a lecture, just sharing some information relative to violence in our community, what we can do to position ourselves to prevent it. And I'm definitely, everyone should know I'm coming from a Pan-African standpoint, things that help our people empower themselves and solve our own problems, and setting up a structure where we can, come together as a people and develop those things together. Not one person is delivering the information, but setting up the environment to where all of us have that input, feed off of each other, ask questions, dialogue, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be happening next weekend. I'll share the link on my page either tonight or tomorrow, more than likely tomorrow, and over the weekend I'll be pushing it. And Sundiata, if you can come through, we can chop it up afterwards, because there's a perspective. This is what I wanted to talk to you about before anyway. There's a perspective that you have and a certain angle that you have that I can't provide, that I know you can really tap into. And I'll share with you the information, all that. Matter of fact, if you can come through. Okay, yes, sir. If you can come through, I'll be at the Carol Hoffner Center. I'm there now, Monday through Friday, as a matter of fact. Monday through Friday. Okay. So yeah. If you can come through, we can definitely sit down, chop it up, and I'll show you the exact thing, and you'll be able to chop it up, see what you think about that, add this, add that. Same way you advised me before when we were talking about that, starting those classes. Remember, for people who don't know, one of the first people, let me list the people I went to when I was starting those classes. Scamp over at Wallsport Rec Center, Sundiata. I went to Sundiata first and said, how can I get, because Sundiata, I don't know if you remember, you hosted brother Raheem Shabazz on what you call it. You hosted Raheem Shabazz.
Elementary genocide.
There you go. And one of the elders stood up and said he wanted to host the class, and then he disappeared. Remember, I said I was going to help him, and he disappeared. So he did, and I said, well, I'll take over the class and see what I can do. And I said, well, what do I need to do to establish this class? And I go, who do I go to? I go to Sundiata, and Sundiata says, make sure you plug in whatever community you go to the people in that community, and you essentially make sure that you're good to go, right? Make sure that it's a peaceful thing. They invite you in, you're working with them. You know what I'm saying? Kind of giving you their stamp of approval in a way. And so Scant was the person I went through with Pastor Williamson, and then it just took off from there. Just to kind of give that background. So shout out to Sundiata for that, and hopefully we can chop it up next week.
We absolutely will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Bob, I see you got the screen about. Are we good? How's it look on your end?
We figured it out. It looks good on my end. You know what I'm saying? And so again, I just asked these students, you know, why should Uhuru Academy get the grant? And this is not scripted. They just said what was on their mind at the time. And just want to give y'all, spread some positive energy.
Greetings. I want to thank everyone involved in organizing the Ingredients for Success grant and for this opportunity for Black-owned businesses to get much needed funding. And what better way to pitch this? What better way to pitch what we're doing with young people than to bring some of the young people, some of our students along with us? They understand that our success is their success, and that their success is all of our success.
I think we should win the grant because Baba and all the rest of the teachers are great teachers.
I think we should win the grant because not only are our teachers great, they also make sure that we are actually grasping onto our information. And we all, even though we're coming from different places, like we all still are communicating with each other, and we also talk to each other, and we're also building friendships with each other, even though we're not all in the same cities and states.
I think the Uhuru Academy should win this grant because of how everyone in this school really just treat each other like a family. Everyone in here really just like a big old family. They really care if I make it. They really care that I become successful. They really care. They really push me to be an entrepreneur.
I love that we get to learn about ourselves, which is a good thing because some schools don't have that type of education.
I've learned to be more confident. I've learned to love myself, how to treat others. I've learned my history. It's just been such a humbling experience, and I've loved all my years that I've been going to this school.
Hey, out the mouth of babes, right? I think that everything that needs to be said has been said. We appreciate this opportunity, and we look forward to your decision. Thank you for your time.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Shaded. Now I got to figure out how to take it down. There it is.
I got you.
All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So, man, they know, you know, when building up young people, they know when you care. But it's not enough to just care. You have to be equipped. You know, you have to be equipped with the right information. You have to be equipped with the right skill set. You have to be able to recognize people in the community that have a skill set to add. You have to empower the people. You have to be a listener. You can't be a great teacher if you're not a great student, if you're not a great listener. You know, and you know, we have to listen to our children. You know, when they talk to us, they know what they're talking about, and we have to give them safe spaces where they can express themselves. You know, and I want to employ everybody and challenge everybody wherever you are, create or support a safe space for our children to be able to be themselves and express themselves.
Word.
Period.
Word. Period. Baba Amin Uhuru Academy. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. And so, Baba Amin, we have to figure out a way to keep getting you to come back and spreading more of this knowledge about your school, because we don't have too many options like this. We have some, right? But being that you're a virtual school, matter of fact, we need to get together. There's a youth program that I'm looking to get funding for, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So I kind of want to chop it up with you a little bit to kind of make sure we have some key elements in there that we can use, and even you know, we're willing to, you know, I'm willing to take all direction that you want to give me.
I say, well, anytime, man, my door is open. You know that. You know what I'm saying? My reefer, anytime you want me on here, just holler at me. I'm there. And man, I appreciate you, everything that you're doing. I appreciate the dialogue with all the brothers tonight. You know, this made my day, man. I've been in front of this dang computer since 7 o'clock this morning.
We working, you know, man. It's for the people. We appreciate it,
man. It was worth it, man. I appreciate you, brothers. And it's hard to think we losing when you get to spend time with brothers like y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
And so I appreciate that. I'm gonna go get me some rest because I got one more day. Gotta get up and get back on it in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But hey, brother. Salute to all of y'all, man. Much respect, much love.
Respect.
Hey, Bob, that 682 number you?
Yes, sir.
Look, I'm be reaching out to you because see, this is what Mariva, this is what winning look like. Every time we build,
that's right.
Every time we build, this is winning because I'm coming down and I want to support your program too.
All right. Holler at me, man. Call me, man. Several ways to get that done. Call me, you know, and we're always enrolling because we're in the crisis. So the answer, if anybody say, are they enrolling? The answer is yes. Full time, part time. You know what I'm saying? The answer is yes. We're constantly in the state of enrollment, and you know, let's make this happen, y'all. We here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We here. If you need me for anything, let me know. I'm
yes,
here.
Sir.
All right, brothers. Peace.
All right. Be safe tonight.
Salute, brother.
Salute.
I mean, man, that brother be knowledgeable, man. Shout out to Sundiata too. I think he had a little bit of technical difficulty. I think he's coming back. But yeah, man, good stuff, man. Good passionate conversation.
G-Jack, like he get ready to stick somebody up or something.
Who that, Greg?
Yeah.
Listen, Greg's been Teddy Riley for a good 4 hours, man. It seemed like this brother here. Look. He's tired. Look at him.
Now, you was counting me 3 months ago, Greg. You kind of quiet today, bro.
Yo, my computer it ain't even my internet. It's just I need to go. I just gotta go buy a MacBook. I'm done with this PC stuff, man. I'm done.
That's all I'm trying to tell y'all. It's time to get the MacBook, not the iPhone. iPhone's white.
Hold on.
The MacBook.
I'm confused. How you on MacBook and not on Team iPhone?
I had an iPhone for a good 4 or 5 years, man, before I switched to Android. And the iPhone did not deliver in the area it needed to deliver in. I had constant problems, Brother Kelly. And so I will no longer, come on, talk to me, use the iPhone. Now, I will give it props for its privacy. iPhone has a pretty good privacy setup, hard to break into their network. But, you know, I'm good on the Android for right now. I'm good. But the MacBook, that Microsoft OS system, I'm good on that. The
I'm
HP
good on that.
and Dell and Toshiba, what else? All of them, I'm done with that.
I'm good on all of that. I'm so done. I'm on my phone right now.
See, computer ain't even working for the brother. See?
Yeah, I'm on my phone right now.
What we doing?
Word.
Yeah, man.
And I got stuff to do.
Got stuff to do. Like right now, let's go ahead and shift in that conversation, G. Tell us what you're working on, what the big event is, and let's start pushing.
Yeah, already. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. Stop the violence.
I'm about to change the banner right now.
Let's stop the violence 3-on-3 basketball tournament happening November 14th at Northeast Saturday Adventist, right there on right there in Hidden Valley on Tom Hunter. It's going down from 12 to 5 o'clock. It's going to be a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Grand prize is $1,000. Yeah, we're going to have fun, but we're really going to bring some awareness and really keep continuing the brand Stop the Violence. Make sure it's us in these kids' faces all day, every day. We'll be out there with merchandise, bouncy houses, game trucks, food. Shout out to Sweet Lou's Barbecue. They're coming with the food truck. Shout out to Pastor Evan Willis from Northeast Saturday Adventist. Good dude. Opened up his gym for us. Everything's lined up. Marifa's going to do this gun violence prevention workshop. You already know this is going to be amazing. We're going to start this off. So a lot of people have been just wondering what we're doing. They see events happening. And the events are to bring awareness to people that don't know about the homicide rate and about the young black men and young black women that are losing their lives every day. So we're bringing awareness to that. Shout out Saturday. We're gonna be rocking our Saturday, our kiosk, our Stop the Violence kiosk in Concord Mall. I'll be out there from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We're gonna have merchandise. We're gonna have flyers for the Stop the Violence basketball tournament, and I'm gonna be running down on every young man and woman that's in that mall. Because right now we having a hard time getting into schools. But if you can't get into school, we going to the mall. We gonna find these kids. We gonna find them. Word up, we gonna find them, man. So just looking forward to all of that, man. Anthony Morrow, Charities, Hill Charlotte, Stop the Violence Initiative, hosted by Duchess, my sister, Duchess of Ink, Big Red, The Voice. Shout out to Big Red, DJ Hef, DJ Glasses. We got 2 DJs, one outside, one inside. It's gonna be an all-day party, man. And we really go out to shove this stop the violence messaging down your throat. We really gonna shove it down your throat. You're gonna see it all the time.
We gotta respond to this rise in violence. Let me tell you, Haley put together that report. Now I saw this before she sent the report, but even sexual crimes are up 42% in that second quarter for Charlotte.
Yeah,
42% sexual assault crimes. There's an issue here that needs to be addressed, and we're going to not only address violence from a gun perspective, you know, homicide. We're going to address it all the way around the board. This is an issue, and they use our criminal, they highlight our criminal behavior. We're no more criminal than any other group, right? Like the numbers are the same, pretty much, right? 88% of white people kill white people. 90% of black people kill black people. So it's all, you know, in a community, there's going to be issues, but we seem to be labeled as a result of these type of crimes. But regardless of that, we want to solve the problems within our own community. And these happen to be issues that are in our community, and we want to speak to those issues, mobilize, and then go in and help solve the problems. Leaders solve problems, period. Now, I'm not promoting us to be leaders or anything like that, but I am going to say that we're positioning ourselves to be influencers, which is considered leadership. And so if we're going to be that, we have to solve some problems. And there's no way you can solve any of those problems without working with your people. No one person can do anything. All that alpha energy and all that trying to take charge and be the man and all that, that's garbage. We ain't on none of that. We want to have and develop a course, which will be coming in January, to where we come together, we educate ourselves on the issues and the causes that bring about violence and how we can organize and attack those things and eliminate those causes and how the problem is gone.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna drop some of these flyers off on you. They just came in the mail. He has just dropped them off, so I'm gonna drop. I think we got like 1,000 of these, man. So we're gonna get them out in the neighborhoods, get them out to everybody. Yeah, shout out to everybody that's a part of it. Shout out the Recast team for really funding what we're doing. You know, this is a team effort, man. Everybody's chipping in and doing what they do. You know, we're planning these events. We got some brand awareness. You see the Stop the Violence merch. You know,
hey,
we're not playing. Let me flip this the right way. All right, it's like, yeah, you see the Stop the Violence merch. All right, you see the hats. Okay, we're not playing, man. We put a lot of thought and effort into what we want to do and how we want to approach this and still make it. You know, you want to make it lively for the youth. You know what I mean? You don't want to try to come out with a program where you're talking to the youth, but you don't have nothing that they can identify with that's relatable to them. And what we're doing right now is new, it's fresh, it's innovative, it's creative. And then it's also sticking to the basics at the same time. You know, education is key, sticking to the basics, but also being very creative on how we get the eyes of the young. You know, and that's doing stuff like having media days and putting together these marketing campaigns and really trying to do something big with that, and then getting into these malls and doing a kiosk. Like, it's just creative and different stuff that keeps it moving. And yes, the merch is for sale. All of the merch that is for sale goes to the movement. It helps us do what we're doing for things that we can't afford, that we don't have money, or that our funders can't pay for. So stuff like the bouncy houses, stuff like the church that we're going to be in, you know, insurance to do these type of events. That's, you know, we got to fundraise for all of that. But Stop the Violence movement is here. It's not going nowhere. We're going to focus on, you know, strategically on concentrated areas, getting in specific neighborhoods and making impact. All right, we want to see a decrease in the crime. We want to see emergency calls get lower. We want to see the homicide rate get lower. We want to see attendance going up in school, grade point averages going up in school. Like, it's a lot of stuff. When it's a safer community, everybody could thrive.
Right.
Hey, Greg, how can they support and what do you need?
Man, go to healcharlotte.org, make your donations. We need volunteers for the events. And then we also need our warriors. We need the people that are ready to lead. We need the people that like we need those. We need those people that are in the neighborhood. Listen, I don't care if you bang or if you don't bang. If you in the streets and you a leader, we need you. Brotherly love overrides and overcomes destruction. Community revolution and progress. I don't care if you blood, crip, civilian, don't matter. You supposed to be a support in this stop the violence movement. For real, we gotta get them. We gotta get everybody. Everybody's a part of this. Nobody's exempt from this one right here. You know.
Right, and I'll say that at the end of the course that we're going to launch in January, we're going to organize into different committees, or whatever word you want to use, different groups to attack different areas that cause the violence. And I think I saw your talk would say it's been happening for a while. Yeah, it's been happening probably for they put us in our own communities where we commit violence against each other for about 50 years now. Probably longer than that, 60, 70 years. And so we're just doing our part. You know, I think Frantz Fanon said each generation has to discover their purpose and either fulfill it or betray it.
Yo, that's why me and you here, bro. I swear. Because I was just thinking in my head, bro. I'm repping for all the 80s babies out here. Okay? All the 80s babies out here. Listen, we the lost generation. We supposed to be making moves. We supposed to be out here being leaders. We supposed to be protesting, being activists. Like everybody that's in their 30s is 38, 37, 36, all the 80s babies, yo, stand up. Even 77, 78, all the hip hop babies, the golden age era babies. We supposed to be activists too, not just entertainers. All right. So I'm representing for all the 80s babies. 78, 77, 79 is included in that also. Let's get it popping. Y'all, everybody stand up, man. I'm serious, man.
I'm laughing because you said 78, 79. He gonna add us. He gonna add my age group in there, Kelly.
Hey, but you know he slipped out 71 because we still here and we moving strong, G Jack.
I know. But listen, I gotta be here to carry the torch, and then I gotta, the 90s babies, 2000 babies, they gotta be right behind us. So what we doing is we raising up that culture, and I personally feel like the 80s babies, we just missing. We missing in action, and we gotta step up and raise these pups up. No matter if we got a lot of young bangers that's really raising themselves up in gang culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where we at? Like, we not out here raising up the pups. Like, it was crazy when I was coming up, but there was still order and there was still structure. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't exist no more. Anybody could be in a gang now. It doesn't matter. There's no rules and none of this no more. So, we the young OGs, man. We just got to step up and be leaders in the community, man. I'm calling all the 80s babies out. Nobody's exempt. And if you rap, you part of the problem. Unless if you're not being conscious and being aware about the music that you feed into the kids, like, I don't care what your art form is, man. You got to start thinking about how you're going to be a leader in your art form. Stop the violence, man, for real.
And we have a pathway to go from being on the block, committing petty crime, because you're trying to survive, right? Usually there's an economic aspect to it. I need bread in the pocket, right? Yep. So there's a program out there where if you're from ages 16 to 24, you can go from on the block to getting a tech skill, technician, apartment technician, HVAC, electrician, plumber. All these industries pay off millions of dollars. And I know black men who have built businesses and they have money. And I only say money as an aspect of getting access to things that the Western culture gives you access to things by way of money: healthcare, food, housing, shelter. So my non-capitalists, please don't dismiss that. Just understand we're trying to get people access to resources and being able to self-determine. And unfortunately, in this system, money is the only way to do that. So you have access, because a young man isn't going to listen to you unless you have a pathway to put money in their pocket. And This is the way to attain a skill and to put money in your pocket and eventually probably start your own business. It can be a co-op business. You can do a lot of things, but you first need that skill. So this program, you can put these young people in. They can learn that skill. As they're learning that skill, they'll pay them a stipend while they're learning that skill. And there's a lot of other things that we have. So we're approaching this with tangible solutions here. When we go to these young people, there's access to jobs, not this youth bill. Greg has a relationship with a couple other companies. You know, you can go straight from on the block to working, right? And making good, decent money so you can provide the things that money provides for. Money doesn't answer all your problems, but it will answer housing. It will answer food, transportation, healthcare, these things. It's anti-poverty is what we're fighting against. It's what our black people suffer from.
Amen.
And so usually people are committing violence because they're doing things to alleviate poverty. They're gang banging, they're drug dealing. Why? I'm going to put money in my pocket to alleviate the poverty issue. I feel frozen from the system, and I've created an alternate economy, which has been, demonized. It's been considered illegal. Right? And that's what feeds the prison industrial complex. Everyone, y'all already know this. People I'm talking to, you already know this. We're just simply saying we have a lot of things to offer, and we're inviting you to be a part of that. We can't do anything without you.
And
right?
it's a real strategy.
Right. And listen, Ubuntu, I'm wearing specifically I am because we are. There's no I in team here. There's no just one person. This is about us. Right. And so we're just adding to that space, fulfilling our mission, doing what we need to do. And Chautauqua, I saw your comment when you were saying you've been working for 15 years in the trenches. If we can, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. You are experienced. You are on the front lines. You are valuable. We want to merge with you, collaborate with you. Ubuntu, practice that to help alleviate some of these problems. That goes for anybody watching. Anybody watching, you want to be a part, let's go to work. Let's do it.
Yep.
Right? Everyone, there's no way we talk on here every 2 weeks, whatever we talk now, and we're not about that action. That's the only reason why we even come on here and share, because it complements the action.
Yeah.
Right? It feeds off one another, and then we can recruit. So if you're out there, you want to join up, your organization, and
you got the link to the workshop.
To the workshop, I saw you shared that, so I need to copy and paste that. So I'm a post it up on my Facebook page tomorrow too.
Yeah, everybody that's watching, make sure you sign up for this workshop. Y'all know Marifa, y'all know the cloth he's cut from, y'all know what type of education is about to come. But this is like a real strategy that comes with the education.
Word.
This is a solution-based workshop.
Word. Hey, come out. When is it, Greg? November 14th, right?
November 14th.
November 14th. Come out. I'm gonna give like an overview, and if you rock with it, let's work. If you don't, cool. Let me know what parts need to be adjusted, because I don't know everything. So and we can make an adjustment. But come out November 14th. Let's chop it up. Let's connect and let's build and get ready. I mean, that's what it is. Greg, do you have the link?
Nah, I'm on my phone.
Okay, yeah. If you send it to me, I'll put it in the comments.
Word.
Because I don't know where I put it, but yeah, and I need that so I can post it for tomorrow too.
He plugged it. I think he's gonna try to find it.
Say word. And if anyone in the comments has questions, man, boom, I'm ready to answer them. I'm hyped. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to work with people, collab. That's what it's all about. Coming together. Ubuntu. That's the message. Not just talk. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're at. That's where we're at, Kelly. That's where we're
at.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wish we could talk some of the stuff that we do, but we can't do it on the space. But
look. What I hate is, and we ain't had a chance to say. Hopefully, we talk about it next time.
Yeah.
But this $97 million.
Is it 97 from where?
The equity.
Oh, okay, because there's the 250 million, and now there's another 97 million.
That's that Charlotte launches racial equity initiative was 97 million.
Nah, it's 250.
Oh, so it went up.
It went up. It's 250.
Wow.
$250 million. Yep.
But it was all big boys there. It was none of the grassroots organizations there.
Exactly. And that's a conversation we definitely need to have. Maybe even next time.
Yeah.
Talking about how in Charlotte there's 15,000 nonprofit organizations, but yet the same 200 organizations get the money. And then when they get that money and they're supposed to deliver tangible deliverables to our, to whatever their purpose is, let's say it's to service Black people in certain areas, we don't see those differences. We don't see those changes.
Nope.
So what is the money doing? Where did it go? Right. I think someone said you can be busy but not productive at the same time. You're doing a lot, but ain't nothing changing, right? So that's a
check my Facebook page, Marifa. I got it on the
Okay.
I just posted it.
Okay.
That was the best I could do.
He said that was the best I could do.
Yeah. Word. I just shared it and posted it on my page.
Hey, G, you still got McKinney-Vento families?
Yeah.
So I got a plug for you. We'll talk later. Bunch of food for Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, word. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, we rock. We just moved in 6 new families in a hotel.
I got you. So what they wanted to work through somebody else. I ain't gonna say who they wanted to work through. I said, let me plug into my man. And so we're gonna route everything straight to Hill Charlotte.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Word. All of the families that's in the hotel, they got an air fryer. They also got a laptop. You know, They start their financial literacy classes on Monday. So we just moved in 6 families. They're gonna be staying at the Baymont Inn for 90 days. And the goal is to get these families into permanent housing in 90 days. We're going through a real boot camp. And I want 100% accuracy, man. I want everybody out of these 10 families. We're gonna move in 10. Shout out to our donor pool. You know what I mean? Shout out to our donor pool, man. Our donor pool. We put together we found out it was $4,500 per family for 90 days. Shout out to and I ain't talking about no government institutions. Shout out to our donor pool, man. We raised $45,000 in a week. Just talking about what we were going through, what we wanted to do. We raised that money in a week, man, just to do this. So shout out to all of those people that really that been rocking with Hill Charlotte for the last 5 years. And they believe in our programs, man. So we got 10 families that was experiencing homelessness heading to the hotel. The hotel room's coming with an air fryer, no more microwavable foods for them. You know what I'm saying? It comes with a laptop. Shout out to E2D for donating all of the laptops to the families so they could be able to look for jobs. The kids can do a lot of stuff. Shout out to one of our volunteers, Lucy. Lucy goes there every Wednesday. She's reading books with the kids. She's doing tutoring with the kids. Shout out to Sonia Jenkins from McKinney-Vento. She's bringing bus passes for everybody that's not driving. We're about to start working with Care Ring. Shout out to Care Ring. And that we might get healthcare providing. They also do mental health. And then this might be a possibility to get gas cards. Shout out to Walmart. We're working on a partnership with them to be able to provide groceries for these families. So, you know, we just making a village, man. We doing a village. We making a village. The Stop the Violence thing is about building a village. You know what I mean? It's about being village minded. It's about getting back to our roots. It's about being empowered as a Black community and us coming with our own solutions for stuff. You know what I mean? Us coming with our own, and to that 250 million, it's cool. It's cool. Because we're not gonna be behind the ball for so long, man. We behind the ball right now. So stuff like that happens and don't nobody know about it. You know what I mean? That's not gonna happen for so long. So it's all good. You know, they're gonna get away with some stuff for now. But when we get people in them seats, we gonna see then.
Hey,
notice he said not if, when.
When.
Right. Not if, when. Greg, Peep Chautauqua's comment there. She was talking about, she's asking, do they have small children? She's pre-K educator, and she can give a free 2-hour group tutoring session.
Yes, they do. I know for a fact, Miss McNair, she got Jelly's 11 months. No, actually, Jelly just turned 1. And then I have another family that we just moved in today, and she has a 2-year-old. She has a 2-year-old and a 8-year-old. So we got a couple of families that's in there. We just moved in some more families. One has an infant also. So one single mom. We got the fatherhood program. I need that, man, because we're getting dads. Just for everybody that's watching, we're reuniting families. It's the roof above has the men's shelter. Salvation Army has the women for kids. We are a safe space for a family that is experiencing homelessness. So we got men reuniting with the mother of the children. We have women reuniting with the fathers. Some of them are husbands and wives. They just been separated due to homelessness. So we need that fatherhood thing there also.
So with
these young brothers there.
So just know that, like, we can bring a certification to your father so they can get certified in whatever skills and skill sets they need.
Yeah, Kels, you already know. As soon as we're gonna put together like a group day, and then just like we did last time.
I'm with it. You know how I roll now, so that's
yes, sir.
We got the meeting room open now at the hotel, so we don't have to be in the lobby. I think, Kels, that was something that I think probably stopped some of the people from being open to some of the mental health stuff. That you was, because they were in such an open space and there's really no privacy. You know what I mean? Sierra was like just ready for it. You know what I mean? So she was ready to rock with you. But I think now that we have this meeting room, and there's, people can do one-on-ones and stuff like that. There's some space in there that we can really do some powerful stuff there. So, this second time around doing it, man, we real strategic with it. And we're going to make some real impact, man, for real.
Word. And Chautauqua, to answer your question about the mental health component, that person would be Sister Isis Bay. And so that's going to be where that's going to fit in when it comes to with the fatherhood program. That's what we do. And so Isis is always down for the people, and her organization, mental health organization, will do what they do. So
Nah, we got to connect her with Cinemet. Shout out to Cinemet.
When we were in that meeting behind the scenes, I was texting and I was saying, look how he's mispronouncing your name every time. Yeah, I'm just telling you what I was doing.
She told me.
I was like, yo, why Greg keep saying cinnamon? Cinnamon that and all the what is he doing?
Cinemet.
No, it's Cinemet.
No, it's Cinemet.
Oh man, I was rolling, boy. Every time I'm like, yo, what we doing right now?
Nah, but the queen is exactly what she is, man. She leading that program with the emergency shelter. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Haley, our interns. We're going to get 2 more interns coming in, so I'm looking forward to that. Man, we building this team up, and it's about to get real. Real. No egos. Everybody humble. Everybody doing what they doing,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man.
I'm going to reach out tomorrow to my people's Jersey and them who play basketball. I ain't see Jersey since, that's what we call him. I ain't see Jersey since Park Road days, man, but he's still out there hooping. So I'm gonna reach out to him, tell him to get a squad together.
And we need 3 more teams. We need 3 more teams. We need people to sign up.
Hey,
$150 register. It comes with the jerseys. The jerseys is already made. Wait, let me see if I got some jerseys over here. Hold up.
Yeah, you get it. For anyone watching, it's just to raise more awareness for the movement. Stop the Violence basketball tournament next weekend, and the winner gets $1,000 to split with the team. And yeah, man. So just something to bring more awareness and attention. They go to jerseys right there. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, Greg, don't forget I'm sponsoring one of your squads.
Yeah, let's go. We got the purple one. We haven't. We're serious. We're serious, man. We're not playing. We put some thought into this.
Say a word.
We put some thought into this thing, man. We got a lot of wait.
Oh, he hype now. He hype.
All the ladies that's watching. Look, we got Stop the Violence tote bags. What you talking about, man? Stop the Violence tote bags. You want shirts for your kids? We got Stop the Violence shirts for your kids too. Yeah, the kids can wear the shirts, man. We're not playing. You see the hoodies, we got the sweatsuits. This is all to be accommodating to the youth, man. The goal is to see a bunch of kids wearing this stuff in school. The teachers wearing this stuff. Everybody wearing this stuff. I'm gonna be real quick, yo. I was at Starbucks the other day. I seen this lady in Starbucks. She was crying. She was near her laptop. I swear. Mm-hmm. So I go to my car. I write her a letter, right? And I'm like, yo, I don't know what you're going through, but God loves you. It's gonna be all right. I don't know why she's crying. I'm just like, let me give her a picker upper. I walk past her. I give her the note. I'm like, yo, God bless you. Get my coffee. She's like, sir, come back. She's like, thank you for the note, but I'm crying because of your hoodie. And I'm like, what do you mean you crying because of? She's like, I just lost my friend recently to gun violence. And when I seen your hoodie, it was powerful to me. And I started crying because I actually missed it. I miss him at this moment. And I wish he was here. So it helped me realize there's a storyline to every shirt now.
Right.
There's a storyline for every shirt. And I knew it when we was doing it, but to have it personally happen to me and affect somebody like that, let me know the power that's in the merch, the power that's in the branding, the power that's in people seeing it all the time. Because there's not one person out here that ain't lost somebody to gun violence.
Facts.
I don't care what color you are.
Facts. That's what it is, man. November 14th. November 14th. I'm gonna put the flyers up and all of that. They go to jerseys. Yeah, man. I'm gonna text my people, tell them, yo, put a squad together. Let's go.
It's the Killer Bee jersey, you know, the Wu-Tang Killer Bee jersey.
I thought that was Golden State.
I like that one.
Yeah. You know, who want to be the Tar Heels, huh? who want to be the Tar Heels, man?
Here we go. Yeah, man.
I'm hyped, man.
Yeah, let's work. Let's
yeah,
work.
it shows, bro. It shows right now.
Yeah. Y'all good? Like y'all good to go? Cause we gonna wrap up. Cause
good.
I used to do the all-nighters, man. I could do that, but now 5:30 in the morning comes quick. Nice.
What's 5:30?
You know, that's what time I get up.
Come on, bro. 04:30, bro.
Nah, I ain't doing that.
Y'all can keep that. I'm good.
Nah, I ain't doing that. Those days over, Kelly. I ain't had to do that in 20 years. I'm good on that.
It's meditation time, baby.
Yeah, that's what the 5:30 for. 4:30?
I'm about to go laugh, man, because Kanye West is on the Drink Champs. So I'm
he on Drink Champs?
Kanye West is on Drink Champs. It just came on. I'm a laugh this whole show. I'm waiting for that. I'm gonna laugh so hard. And shout out to Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry.
Oh, this guy, Golden State Warriors and whatnot. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to sleep. I'm already tired, and there's a long weekend coming up. And if y'all want me to be on point for next Saturday, then I gotta get some sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Seth Curry said he on tonight too.
Oh, this man still talking about Seth Curry. Come on, man.
All right.
Well, you know who I ain't talking about these days, Marifa?
Who you
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
Say it again, G-Jack.
Ben
Y'all did
Simmons.
that boy wrong, man. Oh, we got to talk about that too. Y'all did that man wrong, man. Y'all ain't had to embarrass that brother publicly like that.
That's not
Y'all
cool.
know what the problem was. Everyone saw it. You can't do that. And then you can't even trade my man.
He gonna retire.
He might. While you're
gonna
playing.
retire, yo.
He might.
He gonna retire.
He might. That brother, the same season that people getting mad at him, he just had a confidence problem. The brother put up 42, man. 42, but he can't shoot, which he can't. So you know there's some skill there, right?
Marifa, you know I ain't got nothing but love for the cat, but when he started tripping, they was wrong, but he was just as wrong. Get out your pride.
Nah, he was tripping. It was a confidence problem, right? So
I got that part.
You don't publicly say, I don't know if we can win a championship with the brother. You don't publicly say that.
Yo.
You don't do that.
Hey, look, I agree with you on that. My problem was with afterwards. Like, I'm a professional. I'm a businessman. I'm not trying to lose my money. I need to be in there working out, and I need to. And I'm with you because they should have put a sports psychologist and connected with him with that. Because I was always want to say it's up here. It's not here.
Doc Rivers needs to get blamed. Art of War says know the state of your troops. You got to know the mentality, what motivates them, what demoralizes them. It's just standard procedure. You don't embarrass your star.
Doc said, I got to worry about the guys I got now.
He didn't want to take accountability for that choke. They were up 3-1, and they choked, and that's the fourth or fifth time on his watch where his team is ahead of the playoffs, up 3-1 or 2-0 when it was a 5-game format, and they came back and choked. He saw an opportunity to throw this man under the bus and take some of this heat off of him, and he took it.
I ain't never been a Doc fan.
Listen, And you can't expect Ben
Dang,
Simmons,
now
who got
you ain't
pride,
never been a Doc fan?
and he young in his 20s.
Only Dr. J, Greg. Not
now,
Doc Rivers.
now it's forget Doc Rivers now?
Yo, I wasn't a fan when they picked him.
Yo, Kel said, I ain't never been a Doc fan.
That dude had, he had squads and he ain't win, bro.
That's a fact. I'm not making that up now. This is a historic record. He chokes in the playoffs, and he knew that pressure was coming. And when that reporter asked him about Ben Simmons, that was his perfect out. And he took it, and look what happened.
Nah, he definitely knew.
Man. And people mad at Ben Simmons, and I get it. But, man, what you want the brother to do? You embarrass me. You say I ain't him. And you want me to come back and be jolly in practice and act like, you don't even know if you can win with me. You doubt my ability. You don't even want me. You tried to trade me. But now you want me to come in and be all happy about it. Nah.
What we start off with, Marifa?
Huh?
What we start off with?
What you mean? With making the team?
Efficacy, hope, confidence.
Oh, before that, we started with my man who didn't make the team. Because a parent made a comment on Facebook, and I said I would address it on the broadcast tonight. How to help a brother who didn't make the team. I think he's a teenager, and he was depressed about it. So what do you tell him? How do you bounce back? So ironically, we start with basketball, and here we are ending with basketball. Mm-hmm. And Doc Rivers, you'll never see this, but let me tell you something. I hold you personally accountable for starting that whole downward spiral. When you couldn't coach up your own team to preserve a 3-1 lead, and you choked yet again. And number 2, you threw your star player under the bus. The one who helped get you to the position to be in the was it the conference finals? Or
it was a game before the conference finals.
So conference semifinals, and you threw this man under the bus, and now you sabotage and undermine the whole trust the process get out of here, man. I can't even form my sentences, man. Get Doc Rivers out of here, man. He out. He gone. But listen, man. Appreciate
he ain't out because I need to say this before we get off.
What's that?
He went up and he's picking up Tracy McGrady next week.
Oh man, I still be seeing people talk about Tracy McGrady was one of the greatest. I'm like, greatest at what? Like, explain, man. Pontificate quick on this greatness that Tracy McGrady, who never won a playoff series. That's the worst.
But he could score.
Athletic statistic of all time. It's the worst of any sport to never win a playoff series. What?
That's crazy.
Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna stop before I get into bash the black man. Because McGrady will get me warm, boy. I'm gonna relax. You know what I'm saying? Stop the violence.
He'll still dunk on you, though.
He probably will. He's 6'9". He better. Probably can't touch the net, though. I got jokes. So listen, I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm gonna post the links up. Greg, you post the link, and I will catch y'all, man, in the chat and everything else, man.
Man, shit, I'll see you tomorrow, homie.
Peace and love.
All right, family. Peace.
Y'all be good. How the hell you cut this thing